everyone! I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War stream. So today we of course got two very interesting things added into the game. And by interesting I mean new. Because neither of them are going to be used for too much. But we got two things today. First of course is the new Mythic of Mother of Darkness. I posted a video on her. But as far as this Mythic, it is noteworthy in that it has the best bleed in the entire game. That's what it looks like actually. As far as everything with it. But she has the best bleed in the game, and that's like the only redeeming factor she has. She gets to inflict bleed to all enemies when matching 4 more gems. She also has the combination of having both true damage and bleed, which is decent because you can do 10 damage per turn off of bleed and then, you know, finish off with the ability itself. As far as the ability, it's really reminiscent of that of Queen of Sin, which are both really bad troops, and deals some true damage to an enemy. And if the enemy is, and the enemy below them, and is boosted based on each purple at a 1-to-1 ratio. This was originally going to be a 10 boost ratio, but then they nerfed it very, very, very low, to the point of only being 1. So now if you have 10 purple on the board, it's only going to be 10 additional damage, not 100. And if the enemy dies, it creates 12 purple. And if the ability just ended there, it would be a little bit better. But it also gets to summon 2 Sisters of Shadows if it doesn't get a kill, which means you're probably going to just mana block, and this also means you pretty much never cast her unless you can secure a kill. Because that's just really, really useless. I like the premise of it. Like, you get to do, but you basically get to choose which one you want. If you get a kill, you get the first option, and if you don't get a kill, you get the second option. That as a premise is good. However, what she actually does for it is bad. Sister of Shadow does not have true damage, and it blocks her mana. It does use purple, so I guess it has that going for it, but I don't know, they just need to make Sister of Shadow's true damage, and this Mythic would be ever so slightly improved. But even then, it still would probably be pretty underused, and will only be useful if Bleed ever becomes a really useful mechanic. And as it currently stands, while it is good, there aren't really too many teams that synergize around Bleed, as it's a little bit slow to put it on, and then you have to wait a bunch of turns to actually apply the damage before it actually does anything. But that's a new Mythic. And as far as new hero class, I didn't even bother unlocking it yet. We'll need to go do that. That ended up coming out for Grashnock. And if I'm not mistaken, we even get a stat out of it and a bunch of other things. So let's go and grab this. Let's see. What do we even need here? Let's just grab... where's my Explorer team? Where is my Explorer team? Did I overwrite it? No, I just moved it. It's right here. Okay, let's go with this. And just for the sake of quickness, let's go get a Mirage Queen in there as well. So we can just clear out everything pretty much immediately. Oh yeah, we did end up getting in 250 gem keys. That is correct. Also, I didn't even say hello to everyone. Hello, everyone! Hope all of you have been having a good day so far. Hello, Locknor. Hello, Drock Savage. Also, that does remind me, I will not be streaming tomorrow morning, unfortunately. We'll probably just have the tomorrow night stream. I have some things I need to do throughout the day. And, I probably won't have time to fit in a stream earlier on. But we'll try making the nightly stream a little bit longer because of that. But do be wary of that. Tomorrow, Saturday, we will not be streaming earlier in the day. But hello, Locknor. Hello, Drock Savage. Hello, Jimmy. Hello, let's see. Hello, Adele. Hello, Fame. Any ideas for the new Mythic? I'll have a couple teams I'll mess around with in a moment. She's pretty bad, though. Don't disenchant it. Let's see. Hello, Elite Gaming. That is funny. Yeah, we were probably just going to spend the next hour just complaining how bad the two things are. No, we're not going to do that. They are pretty bad, though. Let's see. Hello, James. Hello, Isabel. Hello, Humberto. Hello, Gustavo. Hello. Who haven't I said hello to? Hello, Chris Border. You had your best luck opening a Mythic today? Congrats. Opening a single 200 Glory chest ended up giving it. Very nice. That is pretty lucky. Hello, Ricardo. And hello, everyone else. Welcome, welcome. New player here. Thanks for all the hints and tips. No problem, Ricardo. And if you have any other questions, feel free to leave it in chat. But let's go unlock this hero class. Then we'll probably mess around with the Mythic. And then we'll spam leveling up this hero class. And probably do the class events. We're not going to be spending any into the class event, though. Oh, wait. Why am I doing Explore? Whoops. Why am I clicking on Explore and not the quest line? I was like, wait, why is this battle so different? That's why. I'm here to go get the class of Barbarian. I think it's about time you showed these orcs how a real barbarian behaves. But don't speak. I know what you're thinking. You do. You're thinking that you're not a real barbarian. How did you know? Hush now. Listen to me. I will teach you all you need to know. Okay. Oh, and now we have our 4 fights. Let's go become a barbarian. One of the more useless hero classes in the game. It's very similar to that of Warlord and Slayer hero class and stuff like that. But it's not distinguished enough to really be worth using compared to them. So unfortunately, not going to be worth it. We're still going to level it, obviously, for kingdom upgrading purposes. So I do want to get it to 70 sometime. But, and obviously to 100 eventually. But not in any too immediate of a rush. But I do at least want to get some initial grind on it. So many things with summons. That one has a 100% chance. Probably the most annoying thing from the kingdom is the Drake Rider's 100% chance to summon a Drake. After hearing how great it is on Salty stream, you need a more realistic point of view. Salty will say everything is great, regardless of how horrifically bad it is. I don't think there's a single troop she's ever mentioned that isn't great. The annoying auto summon. There we go. Kill it out. I think we only had one more battle, or was that the last battle? Never mind, that was the last battle. Well done. You could teach Garnock a thing or two. I could. For one, mouths are for battle cries, not poetry. Ah. And heads are for butting, not thinking. That worries me. But you, my friend, truly have the markings of a barbarian. Rawr. Grunts. There we go, we're a barbarian now. And now we get a bunch of stars. And by a bunch of stars, I mean only 2 stars. Interesting. Where's our 11th star? What do we not have? Oh, I need to go level the hero class. Well, even more reason to go level up this hero class. Level 11's locked behind having level 20 class. And we have level 1 class because we just unlocked the class. Actually, technically we have level 0, it's just showing us level 1. Oh, also I never collected my star for the new Mythic. As of this new Mythic, we do have 18 star Darkstone, which gives us, I think, 1,000 gold per day, if I'm not mistaken. No, 4 times tribute reward. Nice. The 4 times tribute chance is better, but we'll get there eventually. What is even the tribute for this kingdom? It is a little mix of everything. But yeah, the reward's a little bit better now. But the percent chance is better to have higher because you get more loot out of it due to gems and gold keys. Whereas your tribute reward just increases those small amounts, but doesn't actually increase the chance of you getting more gold keys or gems. But anyways, yeah, 18 star Darkstone and soon to be 11 star Groshnock once we go get that leveled a bit. Oh yeah, I didn't really mess with the new Mythic yet, but to show all of you guys, let's go fight a Queen of Sin with, Mother of Darkness with Mother of Darkness. So as you can see there, he has a Mother of Darkness team, and here's our Mother of Darkness team. We're running Leprechaun. Well, we have multiple that we can run. I don't know, which one do we want to run? He's running a lot of purple. Let's go run the blue version of this. So we'll start off with this one. It's Turtle, Apothecary, the Grey King, and Mother of Darkness. This failed a little bit when I was doing in the video earlier. I obviously won't be using this for Blue Guild War Day. It is a option, but figured I'd show it. Most of the teams that we're showing here probably aren't really going to be viable for much overall, just because obviously the Mythic is towards the weaker side. But we do have Turtle for tankiness. That's one nice thing about it. It's a brown convert thing, but it does have a lot of skill reduction. Unfortunately, it got a bit of a mana drain there on us, but now we should hopefully be able to get a really big turtle in here. So we'll probably do this on purple. Get a really decent amount of mana. Not enough to go all the way to full, though. I didn't want to end up denying out the other color because I wanted it for the Apothecary, the green. However, we might just have to go for it now just because the amount of value we'll get mana-wise. So we'll do that. Take every last little bit of thing that we can. I don't believe we have enough true damage to kill off a Lat. So we're not going to go for that yet. We're probably just going to go for a Grey King on purple. That is a purple, right? Yes. So we'll go for a Grey King on purple here. And then we'll follow up with her and should hopefully be able to secure a kill. Unfortunately, this will make it so we won't be able to go and have purple on the board for when she ends up getting a kill. So the spawn's probably going to miss, which is one of the things I hate about these things. I have to target a specific color. We ended up getting quite a few bleed stacks, so that's already doing a lot of damage per turn. So that's nice. As far as follow-up, we could probably just go for another Apothecary and go for another Grey King at this point. And if anything else, almost just doing this is to clear out the board a little bit more so we can have more purples if we actually want to go try securing a kill there. So I think we actually are going to go for the kill here. We have enough boost ratio to have 7 additional damage, which is 1 short of killing that. And since we do want to spawn, I am going to go for the first slot, which is a bit overkill, but we need it for the extra turn. Now with that extra turn, we just go and cycle our mana again, hit on something that both of them use, which is currently brown, and that should be the match. And there you go. So that's how that team works. Not really advised using on Blue Day, but it does function as a team. Next one we have is loading screen. Yeah, Garnok's the mythic from, or the legend from the kingdom, is what Garnok is. He's the one that gives all orcs 50% mana start. Okay, let's go try this one now. So with this one, we're on the first team. This is more of a Orb Weaver kind of team. Yeah, she does combo pretty decently with Grey King. It's one of her better synergies. Life and Death is also our other good synergy. Also, I mentioned in the other video, but didn't mention it yet this one. Don't forget, Life and Death is available next Tuesday. It is only available for that Tuesday and no other day. And it won't be available again for another 4 or 5 months. So if you don't currently have Life and Death, I highly advise picking it up on Tuesday. Did he just infinite loop us? Sure feels like it. Gosh, he just got a lot of value. Okay, let's go make our comeback because we're using Life and Death, so comeback is inevitable. What do we take here? We'll take the purple for now. Unfortunately, it's blocked. Come on, get full mana. Take that. Throw another Leprechaun down. Disease is really doing work on us right now. Okay, please end your turn. Good. Useless Mythic will be doing useless things. Not our Mythic, his Mythic. So, we have this ability, but not enough to actually secure any kills. So, we'll just kind of take some manas. We'll get Life and Death here, which will allow us to go secure a kill. Get a little bit of splits everywhere. As long as he doesn't kill us right now, we should be fine. Don't do it! No! Why? Why must you do this? Because we're all Orb Weavers. Orb Weaver, you didn't even do anything. You're supposed to carry us to victory with a bunch of spam. But gosh, Farce Troll into what's his name? Just did so much work that battle. Into Truffle. Well then, round 2. This one actually worked the best during the morning too. It's like the complete inverse now. The one that worked the worst did the best, and now the best did the worst. But here we'll just go be able to get this thing to full mana, or start working it towards there. Let's see. Actually, that's not what I want. I'll take that. That'll allow us to go and get mana again. Unfortunately, he gets cascaded full mana off of that. And now we should be able to get rolling, because we can just go cast this to go get our mana up. And then we can cast her and get our purple spam, and kind of just keep going from there. And just Life and Death kill it, or go for the other thing. Let's go try getting a higher battle against this thing. It was a little bit too low stats. Let's see. We'll do it up against this Vespera team. Yeah, she's pretty underwhelming. She's a good bleed, though. So right here, you can see we're stacking a bunch of bleed already up to 2. Let's see. I will go for Life and Death here. And that will give us a option to go and try killing with her. And right here, we're going to try to want to get her to full mana, though I don't believe we have any option that will actually do it. No. So let's take a red for now. Luckily, it ends up cascading the full mana. We can then go kill his last 2 slots because you can target whatever. That'll give us the purple we need to get rolling. However, he might just infinite loop us right here. Good, he stopped with his Vespera, so we'll just take whatever extra turns we have to go bleed him up. He did drop one of the bleeds, but we can start getting them back on. That's enough to kill those 2, so we'll go do so. Unfortunately, we're frozen on one. We'll go take that purple because why not? We'll get a Life and Death down so we can go into Weaver, so we can go into her. And I'll pretty much be matched. Whatever our follow-up damage is, we'll kill, and it seems to be another Life and Death. And we get the kill off of that, and we got a Web Spinner there, which of course is a Arachne Weaver's thing. And the other team that I mentioned was this one. Hey, a Queen of Sin. That's actually kind of funny because I believe this one does use Queen of Sin. It's a 4x Daemon team centered around Sorcerer. This entire team is Daemon. And while Daemons aren't really as good as they used to be, this does have the benefit of having Bless to all of your allies. So you can end up using that. Also a good idea to potentially use Gorgolfa in this first slot here. Which used to be a pretty old meta for running pure Daemon. Pure Daemons aren't really used much in the current state of the game. Well, we're using Marilith as our mana generator, mostly because Marilith, if she has more than 32 gem destroys, is actually technically more mana accumulation than a Gorgulfa. She also has some true damage poke, which normally isn't that much damage. However, when synergized with something like a bunch of other things that are doing true damage and bleed, it's somewhat decent. So right here, we pretty much just keep doing that until we get all of our mana. We didn't just take whatever else we want off the board. Secure kills when we can. Oh no, I can't target him directly. But secures kills whenever we can. Queen of Sin we can do for a resummon if we need. However, we just have our double hit right here. And we also gain Bless to all allies whenever we do this. Or to all daemons, but because our entire team is daemons, it ends up doing it to our entire team. But yeah, from what I can tell so far, these are the among some of the better ones you can use. There aren't really too many viable options for it, though. I feel like the biggest change they need to do, there's two things to make her viable. Her boost ratio needs to be increased to like a 2 or a 3 at minimum. And they 100% have to make Sister of Shadows do true damage. Like, that 100% has to be a thing. Otherwise, her summon is just pure useless. And it would also help buff some hero classes, because hero classes also have the chance of summoning Sister of Shadows. Yeah, they 100% need to make Sister of Shadows do true damage. That alone would greatly improve this thing. Wouldn't be like the ultimate fix, but it would definitely help. And it helps hero class too, for when they do hero class rework, whenever they get around to that. Okay, so I'm actually just going to do this again. Hopefully we'll get a random extra turn and Bleed will bring it down to kill range. And I believe he actually is in kill range now, between Bleed and everything. So, are you in kill range? Yes. So we can go do that, get our kill. That then gives us our purple. We can then go do a life and death right into Sin. You don't use yellow, right? Okay, so we'll go over that, get another Bleed down. We then go and I guess we'll cast this first. Main reason I say this first is because it gives us Bless, which we can end up using. Also, we just killed it off a 4 Destroy. She has a 4 HP Destroy, or it's a random stat whenever we cast. And that counts as a cast, so we can end up getting it down. Didn't we just face this Vespera team? Also, hello, Zex. Hello, Mark. Welcome, welcome. Oh, Pet Gnome. Nice. Haven't seen a Pet Gnome for a while because I don't normally do PvP. That's a really nice find. Hopefully they add it to Explore soon, like next patch. But yeah, I almost do like no PvP these days. And he only appears in PvP and Arena. Like, I'm gonna do this and hope he doesn't take green. Or then again, I shouldn't do that. He's using a Pet Gnome right now. Oh no, I just gave it to him. Luckily he died. Never mind. Good. So we'll take that. Random skull for the win. Move that over. Get our Bleed going. Hopefully get some more Bleed soon. Is there anything in kill range? I don't believe so. So we're gonna probably go with life and death here. Do we need Bless for anything? Does he have any stats effects? Not really. So we're gonna go and do this just for chip damage. And now we can go kill. And with that, we get our purple gem spawn. And with that, our purple weapon feeds right back to full. And there we go, we won. And there's our pet. We got a dragon. Did we ever max out this dragon? I feel like the answer is yes. That or he's a few copies short. Let's go max him out if he's not already. Let's see. He is maxed. However, we got this pet. We're going to do this, pets. Okay, let me just change my class, though. To Barbarian, because we need the EXP. We have no EXP on this thing yet. So, Barbarian class. This thing's useless for the most part. It does have 20% dodge, which of all the skull-related things that have a lot of skull damage, it is the only one that has dodge. So I guess that's one thing going for it. Gains its 3 attack whenever it matches red, which isn't really much at all. Actually, isn't that really similar to what Warlord has? What is Warlord based on? Let's see, Warlord. Warlord does it based on 3 attack when dealing skull damage. Whereas this does it for red, which obviously is slightly different, but still the exact same premise pretty much, which are both useless. Well, we'll go get this thing fully traded. Also, it gets 3 attack whenever it takes true damage, and poison and bleed do count as true damage procs. So every single time it gets poison damaged or bleed, it does gain 3 attack. And if I'm not mistaken, it gains another 2 attack. So actually, that's actually not too bad of a mechanic. I didn't think about that aspect. It actually gains 5 attack every single time it takes damage. That aspect actually isn't too bad if and only if you're up against something that has poison or bleed. Because that basically means you're gaining 5 attack per turn in that situation. Obviously, that's ultra situational. However, that is technically 5 attack per turn if you're poisoned or bled. So I guess that aspect isn't too bad. He has Enrage. I can also go for the Explode instead. Same actually premise as Titan in that regard. This actually has 2 of the same trees as Titan. However, it's missing the most important one, which is the stone tree. It's also missing the slightly better traits, but it still has a nice range of traits, if nothing else. But overall, it's just going to be outclassed by Titan. It's going to be outclassed by Warlord. Most of the instances where you'd want to use a skull spammer, you're just going to be using something else. He also has no good final trait, because with the teams that you would use this thing for, you would never use the elemental bonus. You probably wouldn't use Tauruses, and you probably wouldn't be using Wargears. So this thing pretty much doesn't gain anything beneficial beyond 70, like most hero classes, so that's not really too much of a difference. But yeah, it just doesn't have too many options. As far as the full trees that you would go on for this hero class, you would go, you'd most likely go 4 attack, gain 2 attack whenever it takes damage, which means it gains 5 attack because it has 3 off of the trait. Go entangle the first enemy at start of battle. Go for whichever storm you need more, green storm or brown storm. Then you'd go for all 3 of these are pretty much useless, so you'd either go for the 3 attack when an enemy dies, probably that one actually, just to build up on his attack, since that's basically his premise. More often than not, if you're bothering to use this hero class, you're probably going to go Bloodthirsty, as there are many hero classes that use the explosion better. So if you're going to go something, you might as well just use it for that. And then he gains nothing good off 100. So yeah, you pretty much just go all into to War Tree almost. You go +4 attack, into +2 attack when taking damage, into Entangle, into any of these 3, depends on what you're running. Like if you're running PvP, you could just do that for extra glory. You'd probably run one of the Storms though. Into Vengeance for extra attack whenever you get a kill, into Bloodthirsty to make all your attack do more damage, as well as hit through traits, like Skull Reduction or Agile. And on top of that, it gets to gain an additional 3 attack whenever it takes damage for a total of 5. And it has 20% dodge, and it gains 3 attack whenever it takes red. Overall, pretty lackluster, but it can gain quite a bit of attack from nothing else. But just because it can gain attack doesn't mean it's necessarily good, because it's also lacking triple damage. So even though it can gain all this attack, it doesn't have a triple damage to utilize that attack, like a few other hero classes have, which is a pretty big downside to it. It also has no barrier, even though it has agile. Yeah, I feel like you would use Brown Storm more than you'd use Green Storm. However, he does have 5 armor or 5 life, whatever it was, to all greens if you want to use that. And he doesn't really have another good perk underneath that category. Obviously, it's not too big a deal if you try utilizing around that, but it is a factor nonetheless. There we go. We gained a Barbarian level. That didn't take long. Getting our 2 XP immediately. Also, hello, Steve. Hello, Vortex. Welcome, welcome. Also, hello, Zex, if I didn't already say hi. Also, hello, everyone I might not have said hi to, like Mobarashi. And all the lurkers who are lurking. I believe that's everyone. And if I missed any questions, do make sure to leave them. And make sure to get over to all of them. Hello, Mehmet. Welcome. Right, we'll grab that for now. What do we even need here? We'll grab the green there. See if we can get our red here. We'll take that mana first, though, and just kill that all the way. So we can just go for 1 key. Did you really just get a kill on us? Okay, let's get our key mana here. Come on, Brown, something. We need our manas. World's first Barbarian level. The first of many. No, there's plenty of people that already have it leveled. Pretty sure there's people that already have it at 100 because they bought up 1 billion packs from the shop. We will be doing the event, but we're only going to be doing the free battles. I'm not going to be on the free ones. Unless we can get another tier for very cheap, but even then it's probably not worth it because it costs 30 gems. But it might be worth it for the quick free class XP for only like 1 battle away. I'm kind of curious if anyone actually has gotten it maxed yet. It's kind of hard to tell, because even if someone did max it already, we don't actually know if they actually like bought up all the way to max. Because just because they bought up to max doesn't mean they've used their battles already. Oh, so there we go. We're now power level 11. But we didn't even gain level 20. Why did it trigger? I thought it was supposed to be doing it at level 20. Not at level 2. Oh! We had to level the class to level 20. It wasn't talking about class level, which now it's talking about class level. The previous one was get it to level 20, as in the souls. The 4,100 souls you put into it, which is basically, you know, nothing. But this is the actual level 20. My bad. Yeah, level 10 was level 20 as in leveling it with souls. Level 11 to 12 is the actual level 20 for getting the class XP, which is what we need to go do now. So we'll start getting that leveled slowly. But yeah, let's go back to the pet event, finish this out. Get our extra copies of this thing. And start getting to level 20, because we have a Kingdom Star that needs it. And whenever you're capable of reaching an objective on level, on a kingdom, that could just be farmed up manually like that, is generally worth going and farming up manually. Whenever you're missing a star like that. Because that's something that's actually grindable. Something like obtain like 22 level 20s from a kingdom. That's not necessarily grindable because it takes a while to get that many copies of troops. However, one thing that is grindable is something like getting class XP on something. And several of the other objectives, because you can just go and do whatever it does or says to do. You can probably get it done in a few hours and then boom, you get it done. Whereas most of the other objectives are not actually farmable, but that is one of them that is. A couple of the other ones that are farmable is obviously when it tells you to go do the quest line, when it tells you to go do some amount of challenges, when it tells you to go level up the hero to some amount, when it tells you to, I think just one other one. But any of them that tell you something that you can easily do in a few hours. Pretty much any of them that aren't trait related, or any of them that aren't trait related, or get a number of copies and Mythic related, are pretty much farmable as far as those objectives are concerned. Pretty much as long as it's not related to upgrading or obtaining a troop, it is pretty much farmable for any of the kingdom related objectives, including upgrading weapons. However, obtaining the weapons themselves is not farmable, but upgrading the actual weapons with the ingots is farmable. Okay, what do we even want here? We'll grab that for now. What else, what else? Get our green there, get a destroy, and should be pretty much good to go from there. Yeah, this hero class will be good with 4 times orcs. This hero class doesn't naturally have a half mana start, which is one big thing holding it back. However, it can get a half mana start by doing it into an orc team, because Groshnok has half mana to all orcs, and obviously this hero class does count as an orc. Because that's the whole premise of the kingdom, is orcs everywhere. Okay, do we even go for skulls? I feel like we just focus on mana. However, we have no good mana, so I guess we'll take skull, why not? We'll grab that. Gosh, this board's not being nice to us. Just give us the last little bit of mana we need to get rolling. There we go. Okay, we'll take another skull on us, which is fine. If first slot dies, we'll get deviled eggs in replacement. Get a key down. Unfortunately, we actually killed first slot. I actually didn't want to kill it because we could have gotten a key extra turn off it if it didn't die. But oh well, we'll throw down another key, get another destroy going. And pretty much we're good to go from there. We'll throw down key again, and pretty much any follow-up will end up killing it. So we'll be good to go. We'll see if we can get a skull cascaded from top. Didn't end up getting it there, but we'll just go for another hit right there. And good to go. And down it goes. And then we'll take our final battle. And then get all the pets, and then go grind some actual XP for this thing by doing in the class event. Go do that next. Because that should hopefully bring it somewhat closer to 20. Should definitely bring it above 10 by the time we finish out the class events. Alright, we'll throw the key down. Unfortunately, that does not kill. I actually thought that would be enough damage. We even have 12 extra magic on it right now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Apparently, it's not enough to kill. Speaking of kill, that did kill, though. Go get a destroy. That'll be enough to clean him up again. And then we just key to key, and that's pretty much good to go. I'll do that down. Get another destroy. Get another destroy. He'll just keep hitting our deviled egg. Wow, he almost killed our second slot there. What's your boost ratio based on again? Deal double if your damage. Oh, that's it. I thought he had additional boost ratio based on that. Nope, it's just double damage if he has this thing, or if he's damaged at all. And that specifically means HP. Okay, there we go. Get a nice little range of pet food and all the other loots. Get our PvP tiers from earlier. And gosh, it is windy outside. Electricity actually went off earlier today too. Almost got our 100 kills for our 20 gems, which are easy to do. And I guess we'll take this firebomb real quick, because why not? Oh, I don't have anything set to Barbarian though. Let's go set this to Barbarian. Also, I want to go set this back to that other weapon. I was just using this because it came out. However, this other weapon is actually better. What's it called again? I actually completely forget. Let me just do yellow under pure color. It is the Dancing Daggers, even though it looks like a sword. But Dancing Daggers, we'll put that back there. Okay, so now our team's completely normal. Oh, except I want Barbarian class. Barbarian. Let me just go claim this quick free kill. It still shows level 0. It always glitches out. I believe this one shows 0 XP too. Whenever a new hero class comes out, it glitches out until you restart the game for whatever reason. They're not actually 0 level. It just shows it visually until you restart the game. For whatever reason, whenever another hero class is added to that roster, it kind of completely breaks that board. I guess all we have to do here is just wait for the firebombs to kill themselves, and then we get a free win here. There we go. I just killed a hero, wow. And that's that. On to the next one. Let's go do the class event real quick. I think I still have the team saved. Did I save it? Yes, Barbarian class. This was the one I was running with. It is Mang with Fizzazorn, and Garnock. However, I might just run a yellow version. Just so we can Dawnbringer one-shot. I don't know, I guess we could run it this way. But anyways, let's go run the class event. Get our free battles done. Edit team, manage team, paste team, and go get these battles in. And we'll do this with Barbarian. Obviously, we couldn't set it earlier, but now that it exists, we'll just put it right in. And let me change my weapon away from Mang. I think I might just go down the Dawnbringer route for these earlier battles. So we'll go another Garnock. We'll go, is there no other yellow in this entire kingdom, really? Go another Garnock, and we'll go Dawnbringer. And then we just have to fill Dawnbringer real quick, and we'll set our banner accordingly to pretty much just red and yellow. What am I looking for? Banner. All colors, and sure, we'll go with that. +2 red, +1 yellow. Why not? Actually, we'll do it that way. Okay, +2 yellow. And because we can boost ratio for red, so let's go with this. Is the trait on the new class fixed yet? Wait, is it broken? Let's see. We'll take a red, we should gain 3 attack. It works. What's broken with it? It's either fixed or it was never broken? I'm not sure. But yeah, every single red we were taking just gave us 3 attack. Wait, is it doing it for every gem? Because I did notice the thing that cascaded, if it wasn't a red, did give it to us. Let's see, is it doing it for everything? Oh, it is doing it for everything. Oh! They need to keep it this way. This hero class would actually be viable if every single thing you took on the board gave you 3 attack. I hope they don't fix this. Because that actually would make this thing viable. I wonder if they originally wanted to do that and then thought it would be too overpowered. But if they want this hero class to not be useless, they need to keep it giving it a 3 attack. That is actually very useful. If it was to gain 3 attack by doing anything off the board. Wait, oh, I love that ability. No, they need to keep this. They need to just change the ability to that. That is an amazing trait. It's gaining 1 attack for every single gem that is moved off the board. Wait, never mind. Yeah. Because we just gained 2 attack from that too. Or wait, or was that from one of our other traits? Never mind. But yeah, every single gem thing though, at least, it is gaining 3 attack. I feel like they should keep it this way. Never mind. That 2 attack is from the Dawnbringer itself. Never mind. I was like, I thought it was from the 2 destroy. Never mind. Dawnbringer just gives 2 attack when you cast. It's one of the useless things Dawnbringer does. But still, I feel like they should keep that. The 3 attack gain whenever you take anything. But yeah, the 2 attack was off of that. I thought it was off the 2 destroys for a second. But yeah, every gem. Even skulls giving us 3 attack. Nice. It does it for non-red as well. Every single thing gives it to us. Oh no, I honestly feel like they should keep it like that. It's not going to be unbalanced. Still, no one's going to use Barbarian hero class even with that mechanic. But at least makes it viable, if nothing else. Because it means it'll hold the highest attack of any class if they end up doing that. Which is beneficial because unlike Warlord, which previously had the highest attack, Warlord has triple damage, whereas this thing does not have triple damage. So it would kind of even out that way. And be a little bit more balanced and actually competitive compared to Warlord. But I feel like making a post on the forum, like, petition to keep this trait exactly as is. Actually, I didn't even check the forum this morning. Because I didn't have electricity this morning. Let me go and double check. What are people even saying about it? Let's see. Okay, where's the thing? I'm just gonna reply this. I'm not sure if anyone else already mentioned this, but I'm gonna just tag like every dev. Let's see. Where's Nimhane? At Nimhane. At what's his other name? At Salty. Who else? At I forget all the people who are on the other side. How about Syrup? Let's see, how many more people do we need to go tag? Wait, where's Syrup? Am I spelling Syrup wrong? How do you spell Syrup? I'm pretty sure. Okay, I just won't tag Syrup. What else do I want to tag? There's at least one other person. Oh yeah, duh. I want to tag Nimhane. No, I already tagged Nimhane. Never mind. Oh, I'll just tag those three. If nothing else, Salty's probably the most important person to tag of those. Yeah, let's see how it is working right now. I'd have instant kills and 3 times gold damage. Both of which Barbarian hero class does not have. Let's see. He There we go. Okay. I made my mention. Oh no, I honestly wish it would stay like that. That is really, really viable compared to what it is currently. Without that, this thing is going to be 100% useless hero class. But it actually has potential if they keep that option. Because if you do a bunch of gem spawn looping, you can end up stacking a lot of damage. Not to mention, even skull spam would give you additional attack. But I made my mention on the post. Hopefully it stays that way, though. We'll see what happens. As far as the gem that you take, it works for any. It doesn't matter what weapon you're using. However, I believe it only gains magic for red. Let me see. What's it gaining magic for? I didn't even double check. I believe it's red. Yeah, it gains extra magic for red. However, the attack gain currently, at this exact moment in time, gains extra attack based on everything. However, it's supposed to only do it for red. Similar to how its magic is only to red. The magic is working correctly, obviously. But the thing is giving us attack for everything. Where it's supposed to only be doing it for red. But I hope they keep it like that. It's actually going to be a really fun hero class if they keep it like that. Oh, we're already out of sigils. I forgot, you only get 4 battles on these days. There we go, level 10. Did I say we'd end up reaching level 10 from this? I guess I was exactly correct. Nice. Alright, let me go give it some perks. Where is it? I'm looking for troops. Go under anywheres, go under class. Go into Barbarian. And let's go give this thing some perks. So we want 4 additional attack. We want to attack whenever you take damage. And we want Tangle the first slots. There we go. There are the 3 perks. And let's go get this thing to level 20 because we have a Kingdom Star that is dependent on it. So let's just go somewhere where we can quick kill, like Pride Lands or something. Or not Pride Lands. How about Zhejian? I don't know why I always default to Zhejian. I just like it. Let me go do a 3. And we'll kill this with this team. And go farm up some class XP real quick for it until we get to 20. Also, once we reach level 20 on it, I think we'll hand out a code as well. I'm getting it to level 20 real quick so we can go get the Kingdom Power level. Also because we just need to sing level. It's obviously our lowest level class at only level 10. I hope they make a final verdict on that troop soon, on what they're planning on doing for it. I really hope it stays as is, though. Let's see. Oh yeah, Kafka was the one I meant to tag. I know I meant to tag someone else. Oh well. Not gonna bother. I forget her tag on the forum. I don't know. I really hope it stays that way, though. Oh, it didn't do it for Skull that time. Weird. It was doing it earlier. Or was it not, and it's only doing it for colors? Let's see. We'll go do, Oh, wait. It only works with the weapon? Oh, yeah, you were right. What? That is really weird. So it only works if it's holding a red weapon? That is super strange. Very weird. Yeah, you're right. It only works if you're holding a red weapon. We'll do it for anything. So now does it just work normally if we take a red? That is super strange. I love that mechanic, though. So if you're holding a red weapon, it gains 3 attack from everything off board. I honestly love that even more. Because that puts a restriction on it, so you can't just do it with anything. That needs to be its actual trait. I would be 100% perfectly fine if that was its actual trait. It would actually be a viable troop if it was. And it would have a restriction that would make it so it's not too overpowered either, since you could only use red weapons with it. It's broken and won't stay that way. It wouldn't be the first time where glitch became a mechanic in the game. Yeah, Doom's crossbow would be pretty broken with it. I don't know, I personally feel like they should just make that the mechanic. If they nerf it to what it actually says, it's going to be useless, the hero class. But if they keep it exactly as is, it's going to be useful. But for now, let's go get to level 20. Here's 11. Also, I believe that is the first, if they were to keep it that way, which unfortunately they're probably not, but if they were to keep it that way, that would be the first trait in the game that is dependent on the color of your weapon to function. There's currently no other option in the entire game that does it except for it at this current moment in time, where it actually checks what color weapon you're using for a trait. I just realized I'm not using armor, am I? I was wondering why that battle like didn't die, but it's because I'm not using armor. Okay, we'll grab the armor, grab the armor, grab the armor. Grab all that. And back to the grind. I find it funny that their accidental things are normally better than the actual content. They accidentally made this hero class good. Not like broken good, but like actually usable good, instead of just making it useless. What do we even grab here? Let's take that for now. Hey, what do we get next Friday? I didn't even double check. I believe it's new faction. Actually, if it is, then next Friday we get a new magic, or +1 magic. Next Friday is, what's today's date? Nothing? Wait, what? Wait. Why is there nothing next Friday? Strange. We actually have no event next Friday. Weird. Though we do have faction the week after that, so 2 Fridays from now. But, yeah, next Friday we have nothing. Weird. I guess all of them are our rotation. Yeah, I guess because we got double this week. Because we got the Mythic and the class this week. Yeah, never mind. We have no event next Friday. That's unfortunate. I'll say, actually, isn't next Friday Valentine's Day? I believe it is. Still not sure if I'm doing anything for Valentine's Day yet. I might be. Though now would be a good time too, because we have literally no content to that's being added on Friday. On that Friday, next week's Friday. Maybe they did that deliberately to give everyone else for the Valentine's. Well, we get a new pet on Saturday. Or not a new pet, but an old pet. The pet that's coming out on Saturday, or re-coming out, is somewheres. 1 second. I was just on the page. The pet that's re-coming out on next Saturday, not tomorrow, is Valentini, which I believe is last year's Valentine's pet. Yes, it is. So last year's Valentine's pet will be on next week Saturday. Not tomorrow Saturday, but next week Saturday. So we get 2 Valentine's pets that week. Because on Wednesday we're getting the 2020 Valentine's Day pet. And then on Saturday we're getting the 2019 Valentine's Day pet. Have fondue time. Haha. I don't know, I think they were running some kind of offer for it, actually. I would need to go double check. I think it's for 2 people, though. So I'd need to have someone else to go with. But it might be worth it, paying half and half. And just kind of make a day out of it. But I'll go double check. I recall seeing something for it. I think it was like 70 or 80 bucks for 2 people. Total, not each. And if that was the case, it might somewhat be worth it. It's still not as good as the other deal they ran, though, which was 29 bucks. But I believe that's what they had. Let's see. No, there was that. How do I do it to this melting pot? Let me go do my search. Let's see. Why are you not searching? Let me double check. Let's see, there's that, there's that. There, here it is. What was it? It was, where's the price? Why don't you show price? Okay, I'll click to learn more. Bring me to a page that has this on it. Let's see, what are they doing? Oh no, it is per person. They were gonna do like a fancy thing for. Oh no, I probably won't go then. That'll be too expensive. They're doing like 70 bucks per person thing, but they're doing it like all fancy and everything. Definitely not worth it. That is way too expensive. Hello, Neil. Welcome. You act like they plan anything in this game. Haha. Seems like they stumble into things. I don't know. They do plan into advance quite a bit. Like, you have to keep in mind, this game normally has content made almost a year in advance. Which is one of the reasons why it almost seems like they're not doing it in advance. Is they're doing it so far in advance that they're not adjusting for things that might happen. Either with the meta or whatever other things. But content for this game is made anywhere from 2 months to an entire year in advance. Quite a few of the pets that we're getting were made years ago. Like the Valentine's Day pet that we're getting next week's Wednesday is a pet that was actually supposed to come out in 2019, and it's been created since pets first came out, which was what, 2.5 years ago. So quite a few assets have been made like extremely far in advance for the game. A gnome. Want to drop us a Volk even though it's not an event? You know you want to. At least any drop that is good. 5 gems, I'll take it. That's a good drop. Not the best, not the worst. Gems are gems though. Any little bit more we can get is always appreciated. Next patch probably will be addressing hero classes. The 4.8 patch. It hasn't been 100% confirmed, but there is a really good chance that next patch will be doing hero classes, based on what they've said in the past. Likely what's going to happen is 4.8 will be hero classes, 4.85 will be I have no clue what, and then 5.0 will be the big 5.0 patch. Or, you know, the 5.0 is coming this summer. And that's going to be bringing in a lot of things. Like probably a whole nother set of medals. Probably, I don't really know what else. But we'll kind of find out soon. The only things that we really know that are probably coming this year, definitively, we're probably getting another set of medals, another 6, 1 per rarity. We are probably getting a rework to Arena and Treasure Hunt. Maybe not how they play, but at least from a loot perspective. We're going to be getting a class rework and possibly PvP rework. And I think we might know of a few other small things, but those are pretty much the things that we know are probably happening this year, though there is a chance they don't happen. For example, we've been expecting a PvP rework for almost 2 years now, and we still haven't gotten one. And now more than ever, PvP could really use a rework, because Explorer is increasingly becoming more viable than PvP. Let's see. We'll grab a Splodies. You have an account on Nintendo Switch, and you want to link it to your PS4, but the game doesn't create the account. Oh, you cannot link. The Switch is not cross-platform on any console. The Switch version, PS4 version, and Xbox One version are all separate platforms, as well as the PC mobile compared to that. There's basically 4 versions of the game. There's the PC mobile version, which is the main version of the game. Then there's the Switch version, which is its own thing. The PS4 version, which is its own thing. And the Xbox One version, which is its own thing. They do not have cross-platform, any of those 4, with each other. So you can only play it on that one console. Which is a bit unfortunate. But it has to do with policy on each of the consoles that prevents them from doing so. One thing that probably will be possible, though, is obviously PS4 should be able to go to PS5, and Xbox One should be able to go to... What are they calling the next Xbox? I completely forget. Whatever they're calling next Xbox. Or Xbox Series X, I believe it's called. I'm not sure why they chose such a weird name. But, like, on the same console, it should be cross-platform. But to different consoles, it won't be. Which I generally advise playing the PC mobile version for that reason. Because you have the mobility factor to it. Because you could use either your phone for the mobility or the PC for normally. Technically, the Switch can do the same, but the Switch is not cross-platform. You know, it has the mobility factor. What other bugs or errors had become actual content before? Let's see. Dragon Souls for a while did. Dragon Soul originally had a glitch with its final ability, so they had to change it to something else. So for some duration of time, that one became a feature. Trying to think of another one. Kraken, I believe, did. Oh, how instant kills work, I believe, kind of did. Where they can break through barrier. They weren't really supposed to, and then they ended up becoming so. Trying to think of a few others. There weren't too many. But I know it definitely has happened several times before. Trying to think of some of the more noteworthy ones that actually happened. That became actual mechanics forever. Because of a glitch. Well, there's quite a few that still exist in the game glitches. That they never bother patching. So we kind of just assume they're features. But I don't think that's exactly the same thing. Not sure if you would really consider that the same. Oh yeah, Zul'Got's multicast became an actual feature. That was a glitch originally, and then they ended up making it just a natural thing. Because people liked it. And it actually made him viable. Because he was pretty much useless prior. Let's see, we'll grab that for now. Also, I still feel like the fact that Bone Dragons freeze, taking place immediately, I believe is a glitch that was kept as a feature. Just because it made him really viable. Just speak off of that. Because he is the only troop in the entire game that has the interaction. Not even other freezes they can do off of traits have that same interaction. It has the interaction where if you do a skull extra turn on it, you will lose your turn. If you do that with any other freeze in the entire game that triggers on death or in any other situation where you hit it, it does not trigger. But for Bone Dragon it does. There's not that many other mechanics. Actually, I believe there's only one other mechanic. It's Frost Feather. But Bone Dragon is unique and it's the only one that has it that way. And at one point it was a really strong mechanic when we didn't have as many freeze options in the game. Also when he was really broken, his ability. But it's still the only freeze that can automatically take place when a enemy does extra turn skull on it. Any of our other similar mechanics do not trigger in the same way. Like if you kill a Frost Feather, which will freeze you immediately when you kill it, and do it with a 4-time skull, you still get to maintain your turn. Whereas if you do the same thing with Bone Dragon, you lose your turn. What do we even take here? Well, what level are we these days? Not even paying attention to levels because they keep going so quick. Level 14. Still need another 6. Probably pretty close to 15 as well. NA's dead. Gain our level. Nope, not yet. Come on, 6 more to go. Get our splodies. And once we get to level 20, we actually get a whole Kingdom Star out of it as well. But yeah, I do really hope they keep Barbarian hero class like it is right now. The fact that it can gain 3 attack off of anything when using a red weapon is a pretty interesting mechanic. It also opens up a whole category of traits as well. Traits for hero classes that trigger based on having a certain weapon. If they ever rework Sorcerer, that'd be a really great rework for Sorcerer. Have it so it gains some kind of magic bonus whenever it's using a purple weapon. Like if it's using a purple weapon, have it so it gains like 5 magic every single time it casts or something. Or 3 magic. Rather than its 50% chance to gain 1 magic every turn that it currently has. And they could basically make one like that per hero class. Because there's quite a few hero classes that have bad ones. For example, Knight would be a good one to do for blue. Make it so if you're using a blue hero weapon on Knight, so it gains armor every single time it casts. Honestly, I almost feel like suggesting that now. Let's see, what would be every single hero class that would do that? I'm not sure what the other 3 colors would be. What are a useless yellow, brown, and what's the other color? A useless yellow, brown, and green hero class, where you could do that mechanic for on its final trait. I feel like that would actually be an interesting premise. I almost feel like mentioning that right now. Because I'll probably forget to if I don't mention it later. Let's see. Trying to think. Games. Where's classes? I'm trying to find every class in the game. What is a useless class per color? Problem is I'm trying to forget what some of the colors are. Because it would have to be based on their magic color as well. War Priest, I think. Oh, well, you probably wouldn't want to get rid of unique stun, though. Problem is, quite a few of them have unique things that you wouldn't necessarily want to get rid of on it. I could always just mention a few examples. Didn't this have nothing useful? Wasn't this a brown that had nothing useful? No, it's red. Why you count as red? But yeah, he had a useless final perk. Though it is unique, so I guess they kind of want to keep the unique ones. Because that one's useless, but it's unique. Yeah, it seems like you wouldn't be able to do it for everything. Oracle probably could. Who on Earth uses the centaur thing on it? It is such a restriction that you would never really use. Whereas the other restriction is one that you actually would. I don't know, I'll just mention it for those 3, I guess. Wait, what was the 3rd? There's Sorcerer class. There's red. Wasn't I thinking of a green one? There's one other color I was just thinking of that would have worked perfectly for. Because we have red. Purple would obviously be Sorcerer. Was I thinking of Dervish? What did Dervish have? No, Dervish had the monster thing, which is unique. Frost Mage. Oh yeah, it was Knight, because Knight's useless. But I guess I could mention it real quick. Because they all have absolutely useless things. Let's see. One thing to consider is making other classes have the same mechanic the Barbarian has. Sorcerer. Let's see. Gain. Has been using a purple weapon. Barbarian has that. While using a red weapon. And Knight. I don't know what could Knight do it based on. Knight could gain. Let's see. I don't know, what would Knight even do it based on? What is a Knight even themed around? It has no theme at all. That's the problem. I guess I'll just mention as... I don't know, it still feels like it should be 5. 5 armor every time. When taking any gem off the board while using a blue weapon. There we go. It's worth mentioning. Because they're probably planning on reworking hero classes, and while they probably already determined what they're reworking it to, might as well at least mention it. Okay, anyways, where were we? Back to grind. It has been mentioned on forum. So hello, Bushka, welcome. So what did you miss? Well, the new hero class is broken and gains 3 attack whenever you use a red weapon, whenever you take anything off the board. So that's a thing. And it would actually be really strong if that was a thing to stay that way. We still don't know if it will or will not stay that way. As it currently stands, Barbarian hero class is actually viable because of that. However, the second they change it to what it actually says, it will not be viable if they are to change it. Other than that, we got the new Mythic and we were just kind of messing around with it. I'm not even using the game exploit. We're not even using a red weapon. So we're not even using it. And it wouldn't even be considered like an exploit because it's a mechanic that just happens. Because you're supposed to use a red weapon with the hero class. It is a red hero class after all. Oh, and also, I know that's pretty much everything. But yeah, we got a new Mythic today. We got a new class today. The class is broken. At least with the glitch that it has, and the Mythic is useless because they nerfed it prior to it releasing. But yeah, we might mess around with Barbarian's glitch a little bit later on. The only problem is they might end up nerfing it. If they kept it exactly as is, it'd be a nice hero class, though. It's why I don't want to do a video yet on the class. We'll probably cover it tomorrow, once the glitch is probably fixed. Or if they're going to keep it that way. We'll probably have a definitive note on if they will or will not keep it that way. By hopefully tomorrow or so. Otherwise, it'll probably be fixed by then. Good morning, Tony! Welcome. Auto grab here. Get our splits. Yeah, the new Mythic is perfectly fine if you don't get it. It's only a real useful mechanic. There's only 2 things useful with this new Mythic. It has the best bleed in the game, being able to bleed all enemies at a 4 times or 5 times match, you know, whenever you take extra turn off the board. And the other useful thing about it is it counts as a Mythic for Darkstone. And the reason this is relevant is Darkstone is a magic kingdom, and you need to own either Sister of Shadows, or sorry, Mother of Darkness, I mean. You need to either own Mother of Darkness or the Possessed King in order to get 10 plus stars on Darkstone. And for that reason, if you don't currently own Possessed King, it is actually easier to obtain Mother of Darkness than it is to obtain a Possessed King. Because you'd rather use that 4,000 diamonds to craft something else that's actually good, rather than wasting on a Possessed King. Whereas you can just go get the Sister of Shadow. Gosh, I keep saying that. The Mother of Darkness off of keys instead, which will be much easier to obtain than 4,000 diamonds. Still hard to get based on pure luck though, but it is technically easier than 4,000 diamonds. So it's worth considering if you haven't gotten 10-star Darkstone yet, and you still don't have a Mythic for the Kingdom. It's probably the biggest instance where I would say she's worth it. Because even if you don't plan on using her that much, or really even at all, you'd still be able to get value out of that. Due to the fact that it's a whole magic bonus forever, permanently. Let's see. Well, it's not even good. Like, the hero class is not broken with that perk. And when I say broken, I mean overpowered. Like, even with that perk, it's not going to be able to do much. It's a little bit more distinguished as a hero class now, because it's something unique to it. But, like, it's not meta, is the bottom line. Even with the extra attack that it would gain from it constantly. You used all 6,000 guild seals, 1,000 glory keys, and 250 gem keys, and not a single mythic or new legend. Ouch, that is quite unfortunate. Yeah, we got decently lucky this morning. I got in 250 gem key. Yeah, it's a nice mechanic, but it's not good enough to make you actually play Barbarian. Titan's still better. Monk's soon TM is still better, unless they nerf that too. Almost everything's still better. Like Assassin, you could probably still get better value out of. Archer still get better value out of. Just because it gains a lot of attack doesn't make it good. There are hero classes that have triple damage on Skull, which are better than it, as well as the instant kill ones, if you're looking for Skull options. It is a fun exploit for sure. Because it's fun, it can't exist in the game. They have killed some fun teams in the past. Though it's mostly because of the health of the game. But this would be perfectly healthy for the game if they kept it exactly as is. Trying to think of some of the most broken things that have existed in the past. So at one point, we had troops that had enough true damage to one-shot everything. So all you had to do was take 4 skulls and you auto-won every battle. So that was pretty fun. What was also pretty funny is some of the commons in the game were the best ones that had the perk. So quite a few commons were actually the best troops in the entire game due to having that mechanic. Orion was also considered one of the better troops in the entire game at the time due to the fact that it was the highest rarity troop that had the mechanic. That was pretty funny when that was a thing. Bone Dragon was pretty broken at one point. Bone Dragon at one point had full armor tier and a boost ratio based on that. So you'd get enough skulls to basically fill up like 30 skulls onto the board. So you get a full armor tier into pretty much 1 or 2 kills for free. And he had that freeze thing, so you wouldn't even lose your turn if they hit you back. But yeah, Bone Dragon was really, really fun when he was broken. Great Maul used to be able to multi-devour. If you got a big skull spam off of Bone Dragon or any other troop in the game, it was possible to kill all 4 troops instantly. Because not only would you be applying skull damage, but your Devour would apply to the next troop in line. Similar to how Salvini Moore's Entangle automatically applies to the next troop. And basically you could do this to skull spam the first troop so hard that you end up triggering 3 15% Devours. Also, he used to have 50% Devour at the time, until it was nerfed to 10, until it was nerfed to 5 and given to a completely different troop. It used to have 15% Devour rate, and if you did a gigantic skull spam onto first slot, you would kill the first slot with skull spam and then devour the other 3 below in one single turn, all in one single chain. So you just fill up the entire board with skulls with a Bone Dragon, and then you just won. Because you just killed the first slot and then devoured the other 3. It was pretty funny. Other than that, what other broken things were pretty broken in the past? Silent One used to not silence itself and used to both mana drain and silence, because that's what silence used to do back in the day, because it had mana drain automatically attached to it. So that basically made it so once you casted it, the enemy could never cast ever again, because you just keep going from Silent One to Silent One. So that was pretty broken. What are the fun things? Actually, that one wasn't fun. But what other fun things used to exist? Goblins that had any amount of board control, like Goblin Rocket and Goblin Shaman, used to stack their extra turns. So if you had an ability that had extra turn, while also having an extra turn off the board, and trigger both of them simultaneously, you could start stacking extra turns, basically making it so you could end up getting infinite extra turns and take 3 matches and still get an extra turn. So basically you could stack something like 12 extra turns, then take a 3 and it would still be your turn, take another 3 and it would still be your turn, and keep doing that over and over again. You could basically stack infinite turns, because whenever you triggered both an extra turn and a board turn extra turn off the same time, off the same ability, it would basically count it as 2 additional extra turns, and it would keep stacking those over and over and over again until you eventually ran out of extra turn stacks. So that was pretty broken for goblins. Goblins at every single point in the game have had something that's broken. Right now it's Truffle and other infinite loops. But yeah, goblins have always had at least one broken option, either through a glitch or just off of some kind of synergy. Oh, remember when Gob Truffle was broken? Oh wait, he still is. Yeah, Gob Truffle has been broken for almost a year straight. It's pretty funny. I'm surprised they haven't nerfed it. The only real nerf they did was like a slight mana increase thing to it. Because I believe he used to have 16 mana, then they made him 17. However, they can make him 20 mana and he'd still be viable. That'd make almost no difference. Every mana cost beyond 16 is pretty much the exact same. Not exactly, but the methods that you use for any troop that has 16 or more mana cost is the exact same to fill them. Anything below that mana cost, you would use a slightly different method for filling it up. Because for 3 mana, you just take a gem. For 4 mana, you use a +1. For 5 mana, you use a +2, though those almost don't exist. For a 6 mana, you just use none, and you just go hope for a surge. However, you could also do a +3. However, that is very rare that you would have a team synergy that would use that. The only exception to that is Thrall. Thrall is the 6 mana cost troop that you do use a +3 purple for. And the reason for that is he has a +1 onto himself. That's probably the only exception in the entire game. But you either do no mana gain at all or a +3. For 7s, you use a +1 into one of its colors. Generally, it's only going to be one color anyways, because all 7s, I believe, are only one color. For 8, you use a +2. For 9, you use none. For 10, you use a +1 into both of its colors, because generally they're rare. For 11, you use a +1 into one of its colors. For 12, you use none. For 13, you use +2 into one of its colors. And for 14, you use a +1 into one or both of its colors. And then pretty much everything 15 and beyond, you use the same strategy for, which is mass explosion, mass destroy, mass mana accumulation to feed them. Also, that's generally what I base every banner off of as well, if you're ever wondering. Yeah, Gob Truffle is only strong because of Forest Troll. If Forest Troll didn't exist, Gob Truffle actually wouldn't be broken. I feel like Gob Truffle is only broken when used with Forest Troll. In every other situation, he's actually balanced. But with Forest Troll, he's just infinite loop auto win. But yeah, Gob Truffle is very dependent on what you use it with. But yeah, it's still very, very strong without Forest Troll. It was like one of the best troops in the entire game with Forest Troll. Yeah, Mirage Queen is currently the best 50% mana start in the game. I'm actually really surprised they didn't pull a Divine Ishbala and nerf it to 40%. I still feel like they should give the Divine Ishbala her 50% back. I don't feel like in the current state of the game she'd be broken with the 50%. Honestly, I feel like they should have kept it that way to begin with. But unfortunately, they did not. Because it seems so weird that every single half mana start is 50%, but then they just made Divines 40%. It seems so weird that that's the only one that's a different percent. Gob Truffle was the fix for making 500 easier. It was technically always easy. However, the thing that Gob Truffle ended up doing was it made the easy accessible to early game players. Because getting 2 copies of Truffle is not hard. All you need is a few thousand Chaos Shards. And you could theoretically do that within a week. And realistically easily get that done within a month, even as a newer player. But even in your first week, you could theoretically end up having it. And just go and get yourself 2 Gob Truffles, and then boom, you got yourself a team. You might not have Forest Troll yet, but yeah, that's pretty much all you would need. And then you just use Hero until you get a Mirage Queen. Or even just keep using Hero and try getting something like Warden upgraded. Or just use it with some other hero class. If you just want to level up Titan if you haven't already gotten to 100. But Warden is still the best with it because it's Dispel and it has Green Storm at start of battle. With Green Storm at start of battle, you can normally win before the storm even ends. With all the infinite looping. And with Dispel, you need it so you can counter Submerge. Otherwise, you have no Submerge counter. Unless you use one of the Doom weapons, but the Doom weapons can be hard to get for some people. Like the green Doom weapon or the brown Doom weapon. Are the main 2 you'd want to use with it. The green one's better, but you can use brown if you don't have the green. So what level are we right now? We are level 17, 3 levels to go. Then we'll go hand out code, as I mentioned. And then we also get a Kingdom Star. I believe it's the last Kingdom Star we can get. And if not, then we need to go get level 40, because I believe the next objective is to go get level 40. It's either 30 or 40. I think it's 40. Ooh. Get our explosions. Yeah, technically you only need 1 truffle. I like doing it with 2. Because with 2, you basically have infinite loop once it gets going. Like, you'd have to really, like, try to mess up to not have infinite loop once you have 2 of them going with a forest troll. Especially if you have Greenstorm in play. Even more so. There we go. Oh, excuse me. 3 event keys. Theoretically, from a gem value perspective, 3 event keys is the best drop that that gnome has. That isn't a vault key. However, from my actual usefulness perspective, the 4 gem keys is actually better. The 4 gem keys is only worth 36 gems, whereas the 3 event keys is technically worth 42 gems. However, the main difference is I don't need event keys. So they theoretically have no value to me, even though they technically have a better gem value than gem keys. Another level. Still need 2 more. We're almost there. So close. I absolutely love Truffle. It's probably one of my favorite troops in the game. I hope it never gets nerfed, because it's a lot of fun to use. Yeah, Keylime really likes Possessed King for some reason. Like, Possessed King isn't bad, but I don't know. I personally feel like it's really average or just slightly above average. Yes, the Truffle Shuffle for infinite loop. Hopefully it'll always be a thing. Do you know what awards you gems in PvP defense? Yes, it's a 7 times cascade. It's a mechanic that's left over from when the game first started. When the game first started, prior to Treasure Hunt ever existing, which came out about a few months into the game's development, I think like 6 months in or 4 or 5 months, I forget exactly how long it was. But very, very, very early into the development cycle, Treasure Hunt didn't actually exist yet. And prior to that, whenever you got a 7 times cascade, you would gain 1 gem for doing that 7 times cascade. However, that mechanic was eventually changed so that you gain 1 treasure map like you do now. So if we were to go and randomly get a 7 times cascade, we would get 1 map rather than 1 gem. However, it is still left over in defense that whenever you get a 7 times cascade on your defend team, on defense, so whenever your AI just runs it for you when someone fights you, you will get that gem. So if your AI team randomly gets a 7 times cascade, you will get a gem every single time that happens. You also still get a gold key whenever it takes a manual move like these. Like if we were to swipe everything off the board. Every single time that happens, you have a chance of getting a gold key. And that mechanic's also still there. And in both those instances, if your AI team gets a gold key, or if your AI team gets a 7 times cascade, you will still get that loot. 1 gem for the 7 times cascade, and 1 gold key for the swipe. But yeah, it's a really, really old mechanic. Both of them from day 1 in the game. And that 1 gold key used to actually be useful, because it used to give a iron key, which is basically the equivalent of 3 glory keys in the current state of the game, essentially, is what an iron key used to be. It was 1 guarantee rare, and then 2 other cards that could be as low as common, but it could also go all the way up to legends. So it's basically like what glory keys were, essentially, 3 of them. Which means the loot that we get now for manual moves is way lower. Because now we only get a gold key, which is worth very little. Whereas before, we got the equivalent of what was almost 3 glory keys. I'm a living Gems of War encyclopedia, pretty much. I know the whole history of the game. I've been around since day 1. Or pretty much day 1. Been playing since a few days after it launched on Steam. which was over 5 years ago. Because the game came out in 2014. The later end of 2014, but still in 2014. Okay, I'll get our other hit, clear it out. And it should be almost halfway to this level. Then we just need the final one, and then we'll hand out code. And then we still have a billion more grinding to go. We'll go for that for now. Yeah, the game was really weird prior to traits ever existing in the game. It was something that was requested for a while, because stats effects for the longest time were very, very annoying. And I believe freeze came around that time too. Prior to that, I can't actually remember, but there was like some kind of stats effect that came around. That was kind of like the straw where it was like, okay, we need immune to things, and then they finally added immunities. But prior to version 2.0 of Gems of War, we never had any immunities. So if you got death marked, you were just death marked. If you got frozen, you were just frozen. If you got silenced, you were just silenced, and there was no way to take it off other than cleanse. It's one of the reasons why Silent 1 was so ridiculously broken back in the day, because not only would silence have mana drain and hit all your enemies, or you know, all enemies, and it didn't even silence itself, but on top of all that, there was no way to remove it, because if you were silenced, you couldn't use a cast to go and cleanse. And you didn't have immune to silence, so you couldn't use anything like that as your option. Level 100 Barbarian before stream ends, that is definitely not happening. You know how long that takes? We'd have to grind for another 28 hours. It's not even possible to do it today. There's not even enough hours in the day to finish it today. Even if we streamed from every single hour for the rest of the day, we wouldn't even be halfway done with getting the hero class to 100. And that's assuming you're using quicker methods like what we're using now. If we were doing other battles, it would have to go even slower than 28 hours. And when I say 28 hours, that assumes you win at a rate of 3 per minute. You could do a 24-hour stream now. Actually, I won't even be streaming tomorrow morning. I think I mentioned it earlier in this stream. There's some things I need to do. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get time to actually stream in the morning or afternoon. So I'll probably just do a longer stream tomorrow night. But yeah, we will not have a morning stream tomorrow, unfortunately. Still be leveling up this hero class, though. I'm just not in any like direct rush to get it up. I want to rush it up as far as getting the kingdom upgrades, but beyond that point, we don't really need to rush it anywheres anytime quick. Obviously, I still want to get it up over time, but once we get it to 70, we'll kind of leave it there as well, because it doesn't gain any beneficial perks beyond that. One class XP per red enemy killed. That'd be kind of fun. But theoretically, that could give you even worse XP. We've done some 12-hour streams before. I've never done 24-hour, though. I don't think I could last that long. Because I've tried, and it just doesn't work. If I had other people to like 24-hour stream with, it could probably work, like alternating with it. And not with that attitude. I don't know. I don't feel like I would ever bother getting around to a 24-hour stream. Not saying it would never happen, but it's very unlikely. Hey, Celestial, nice. Not like we need them, but I think we're still not over 1,000 yet, so that's one step closer to over 1,000. Actually, let me double check. How many Celestials do we have these days? Did we ever break 1,000 yet? I feel like the answer is no, but we might have. Oh no, we have. Never mind. Oh wow, we really broke 1,000. We're almost at 1,300. I didn't even realize we were that far past. Gosh. Yeah, we are way past that. We're 4 off of 1,300. Which we'll probably have by this weekend. Because we get a guarantee one on Sunday. And then we'll probably find 3 between just trying to level up the hero class. Just need lots of snack to keep the energy up. I don't think that would be enough to help it. Also, hello Haley! Welcome. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Isn't that the debate tonight? I might be streaming a little bit earlier today then. For our nightly stream. I almost forgot about that. Because I don't want to miss this one. This one's actually pretty consequential. Actually, it's probably the most consequential one yet. Also, Andrew Yang's actually on stage this time. So it just got like 20 times better. But anyways, isn't it tonight? Next Democratic debate. Pretty sure it's tonight at 8. Which is a problem because it's when we normally stream. Tonight's Democratic debate. What time does it start? Please give me a time. 8 p.m. Yeah, it starts at 8. Fail. Okay, yeah, we're streaming at 7. I'm streaming an hour earlier tonight. Because I do want to catch that. Is it worth it to level up kingdoms to 15 if you have deeds? Not always. It's actually beneficial not to upgrade kingdoms to 15 sometimes. And the main reason for this is Imperial deeds. You have a limited number of Imperial deeds. You'll run out of Imperial deeds before you run out of in color. And you generally want to focus your Imperials on better kingdoms. Rather than just using it on every single time you can. So that's a factor to consider. So Magic Kingdoms you always want to make sure you have enough to deeds for. And also any kingdom that you might want to have for faction bonus to make it easier, you probably want to have deeds for. Oh no, we're going to be at the same time as Key Lime stream if he streams. Gonna have to bring up the double screens then. Yeah, we'll be streaming at 7 tonight, so it'll be the same time as Key Lime if he does his stream. Has he been streaming this week? I haven't really been able to catch much of his streams ever since we moved to Twitch, because I don't check Twitch on a regular basis. Whereas I check YouTube literally every day. He streamed on Monday, but not Wednesday. Because doesn't he stream Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, I believe? Or something? I forget. Oh, level 20. There we go. Well, I said we'd hand out code at this. Let me just go get the perk and code time. Where's my Explorer team? That's not it. Where's my Barbarian? Class. And let's give this thing its other perk. And at this point, we'll give it Greenstorm to help Rowan. Since our team is based around that right now anyways. Okay, code time. I did say I'd hand out code at this point, and it is that point. Let's see. What do we grab? What do we grab? Right over here. Where's the code of all codes? Did I mark out the codes for the current section? I believe the answer is yes. No. I posted them here, but I haven't actually marked them yet. So let me go mark them right now since I'm on the screen. But first things first, let's go actually use this code and see which one of these work. And then we'll mark up to the point that we've used up to. Let's see. Where does the page go? There we go. Okay, so we only used the first 3 so far. Mark them down so we know. Well, technically more than the first 3, but that's all I have in this whole section. It's like 25 of them, I think. But anyways, get that there, get that there, get that there, get that there. Move that over, paste, copy. And here you guys go. Copy, copy, paste, paste. And there is the redeem code used on gemsofwar.com underneath the game code section. Your invite code can be found underneath your settings menu. Whatever your game says right over here is what you end up putting in the bottom left corner in settings menu. Redeem code's right over there in chat. Just copy paste the random letters. And it gives the same reward as always. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. And it's only usable on PC mobile version. And use on the link right there, or go to gemsofwar.com underneath the redeem code section. There you guys go. Enjoy, everyone. And that's for the first few hundred people that end up claiming it. Though do keep in mind, even though we only have about 100 people right here, it is possible that people share it with guilds and stuff like that, so it does get used pretty quick, even though we never normally have that many viewers. Although we have had over 200 before. That's obviously pretty rare unless something big's going on. Also, we just went directly from 11 to 13 as far as star level. Can it actually go further than that? Let me see. Yeah, it actually can. Okay, we need to go get level 30 Barbarian. I'm not sure if we can finish it this hour, though. But I do need to go work towards that. If nothing else, we'll get it tonight. But yeah, we just keep getting star level after star level. Let's keep going. I definitely need to make sure I focus down those star levels because we get more loot for doing so. Every single hour we get more loot for doing so. From going from 10 to 13, we've already gained 0.5 tribute reward and 0.25 tribute chance. And this is the really good one because tribute chance is better. And we'll have that once we reach the next level, which we get at level 30 class. So yeah, let's go get that. Let's go farm it out. Oh yeah, we still don't have the weapon yet either. We should be getting pretty close to 250 wins. Let me see. I believe at around level 25 or so, you would end up getting 250 wins. Yeah, we're currently at 171 wins. Almost forgot about that. What does this weapon do? I believe it was useless. Deal heavy splash damage to an enemy, boosted by skulls at a 1-to-1, then stun all troops affected. This was an okay stun option, I guess. It reminds me a lot of Tanya. This ability just screams a weaker version of Tanya. It's 14 mana cost red, and this is what Tanya is. It deals heavy splash to an enemy and stuns everything that... Gosh, how do you spell it? I forget how to spell its name. I believe those were your colors. Nope, those aren't your colors. Gosh, it's from Shintang. Or is that even wrong? Who knows? Pretty sure it's from Shintang, though. Was it not? Where'd it go? There it is. Tanya. There it is. Oh, yeah, it's only Y. Gosh, why do you spell your name so weird? But this does the same premise. It deals heavy splash damage to an enemy and then stuns all affected. It's the exact same thing as far as the first part of the ability. However, this one's a bit better because it gets to deal double damage if his attack is greater, which is normally enough to kill. And also has a backup summon if need be. But, yeah, it's basically a 1-mana Tanya, whereas this is a 3-mana Tanya that uses red, blue, and yellow for 24. And the other weapon is red and uses it for 14. As I mentioned in the past, Tanya is a pretty underwhelming mythic. So that's a pretty underwhelming weapon. However, it is a similar premise, I guess, if nothing else. So I guess it's not horrifically bad, but it's probably still not worth using ever, that red weapon. Like, you'd get so much better value if you happen to have Doomed Crossbow, just by using Doomed Crossbow instead. There's like no instance where that thing would be better than Doomed Crossbow. Unless you like desperately needed a red stun for whatever reason. But you also have to keep in mind that Obsidious is a stunner. So if you really needed a red stunner for a specific color restriction, you can just use Obsidious, assuming you own it. So that weapon's probably not going to be used much. Yeah, it can reach power level 14. That makes sense. So we need to get these last levels on it then. Once you finish out these levels, we'll end up getting it. Let's see, how much more XP do we currently need? What's 25 times 10? That's 250. So that means it'll take us about an hour and a half. So yeah, I guess we'll just keep grinding then this stream. Because that means by the end of this stream, we should hopefully have level 30 Barbarian class. Sounds like a game plan. I think I did the math on that right? Yeah. I guess 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, duh. Because each level that goes up. But, and then you just take the 25 because it's the mid number. Wait, is it the mid number? 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Actually, technically 25. Okay, it's closer to 255, I guess. Still. After we did these few battles, we're probably closer to 250 anyways. Are we doing a second code after 30? No, that will be the only code of the stream, unfortunately. Can't give out too many. We'll have another one tonight, though. We'll be streaming at 7 tonight. And we'll continue from there. In our levelage. I don't think we'll reach 40 tonight, but want to get towards 40. These levels should go relatively quick. Given now on average we're going to need about 25 mana for each, or for 25 EXP. And 25 EXP takes around, what is that? Less than 10 minutes. So basically every 10 minutes we're going to be gaining a level. Hello, White Tiger! Welcome! Yeah, Hero doesn't really have much options for stun. It's a relatively rare option to see. Hero in general lacks stun on pretty much anything. No tree has stun. Only one hero class has stun, and it's not even a good one. Like a 50% chance of stun every single turn. It's completely random when it stuns. And there's a few weapons that have stun, and that's it. None of those weapons are particularly meta. Yes, they did nerf the Mythic before it came out. And it is now nearly useless. It's only particularly good for the poison. Okay, what do we even need here? Get that. Get our splitty splits. With how long we're grinding, I should have brought out the controller, but oh well. Still technically not too late. Only problem with the controller, though, is it seems like that page more and more, like this one right here, that goes into the map screen, glitches out more and more when using controller. Yes, the new Mythic is the best bleed option. Bleed is a mechanic that does damage, true damage per turn based on how many stacks. And it does either 1, 3, 6, or 10 damage per turn, depending on if it has 1, 2, 3, or 4 stacks. Which means once you get the entire enemy team with 4 extra turns to a 4 stack, you'll end up doing a 10 damage per turn to it. Which is quite a bit of damage, but the only problem is you have to wait till a lot of turns go by. And for that reason, it's a bit of a slow mechanic. Unless you have other decent true damage to synergize it with. Oh, did I say poison? Oh, my bad. I meant bleed. She has a 4 times bleed, not poison. Big difference. Poison is useless. Bleed does up to 10 damage per turn. Poison is a 50% chance to do 1 damage. It's a very dated mechanic. However, poison is the only stats effect that will knock cleanse off naturally. It's the only stats effect in the game like that. However, it doesn't do enough damage to justify that being a mechanic on it. Because taking 1 true damage can actually be beneficial based on some troops. For example, the one we're using right now gains 3 attack, or actually 5 attack, whenever we take HP damage. So it's actually beneficial for us to do so. So those kind of mechanics tend to be pretty bad. Because poison is actually a positive stats effect in some teams. Which seems really weird, but it can be. Yeah, it's not useless with Scorpius, but it's useless in most other situations. It does 20 times less damage than a full stack of bleed. Which is, well, quite a lot if you think about it. It basically does 0.5 damage per turn, true damage. Whereas bleed does 10 damage per turn. or potentially up to 10 damage per turn. But even if its minimum is 1 damage per turn, which is more than Poison's 50% chance for 1 damage per turn. Honestly, I feel like they should just make Bleed stack like, make Poison stack like Bleed does. And still keep the mechanic where it doesn't go off ever unless you cleanse. But have it so 1 Bleed is the current 1 damage, 2, or, you know, 50% chance for 1 damage. And then you could have it to, like, pretty much the exact same thing. 1, 3, 6, and 10. But keep it at 50% chance. And keep it so it doesn't cleanse off. I don't know, something needs to be done to Poison to make it better. It's probably the worst stats effect in the entire game. If you ignore Scorpius. But if you just look at the stats effect itself, it's probably the worst in the entire game. I do find that kind of funny, though. Even though Poison's the worst stats effect in the game, it has better synergy options than Bleed. Because you have, like, Web Spinner for triple damage, you have Scorpius for instant double kill. There's several troops that do double damage to Poison, and Bleed has none of those things. Oh, so that'll remind me, whatever happened to Darkest Dungeon 2? I haven't been keeping up with that much lately. It was announced around the same time as Warcraft 3 Reforged. And Warcraft 3 Reforged got delayed, and then got shipped as a broken mess. But it still came prior to even getting really more info on Darkest Dungeon 2. I don't know, maybe I just haven't been keeping up with it, but what is up with it? Let me see. Let's see, Darkest Dungeon 2. Nope, just a teaser trailer from like a year ago. Oh, there's more details that were posted. No, that was last year. Gosh, it's been a year since it was announced. How is there not more info on it? How is there not more info yet? It was announced a whole year ago. Let's see. We'll go for that for now. Too early to stir the pot with Warcraft 3. Now that's already dead in the water. Like, I still play it on occasion, just because I play the original version of it. But they tried ruining the original version too. There's less features in Warcraft 3 now, since they made it reforged on the original version. And quite a few of the graphics are messed up. There's also not as many animations. When they made all the new animations, they forgot to redo some of the older animations. And they also forgot to redo some of the older models. And even in the classic version, they basically removed all those older models and animations. So they basically removed content from the original game. And you can't even refund the original game, because most of them are sold physically on discs. I think I bought the original like 3 different times. Most recently for like $5 at a garage sale. Or not at a garage sale, at a flea market, I mean. Big difference. Same prices, big difference. Yeah, they unfinished a game from 18 years ago. I still find that baffling. They took a completely finished game and then unfinished it. They could have literally just taken Warcraft 3 and just done a bunch of advertisements to try to sell the game again and make no changes to it whatsoever. And it would have been a better game than Warcraft 3 Reforged. What did we grab here? Oh, so how low is Metacritic for it? I know it was at a 0.5 earlier. Did it ever reach 0.4? I want to check. I still haven't given it my 0 yet. If you haven't given it a 0 yet, you definitely should. I think it has 28,000 reviews. Most of which are overwhelmingly 0. Let's see. Which is kind of funny because the original game had a 92 out of 100. Whereas currently has 0.5. Let's see. Warcraft 3 Reforged. It has a Metacritic of 60 and a user review of 0.5 with almost 28,000 ratings. So 27,381. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I'll need to go make an account so I can give my 0 later. I still haven't bothered yet. Go get our split damage. Yeah, Blizzard hasn't been doing anything right recently. Though honestly, I never really bothered playing any Blizzard game that wasn't Warcraft 3. Like, Warcraft 3 was the only thing I knew Blizzard for. And they somehow managed to ruin it. So good job, Blizzard. It's still playable, though. But it's worse quality than it was prior to them even doing anything. But yeah, Warcraft 3 is actually what originally got me into tower defenses as well. Like, almost half the games that are still hosted on Warcraft 3 are actually tower defenses. It's probably the most popular genre on it, because the game engine of Warcraft 3 is really good for generating tower defense-like maps. You were somewhat excited for Diablo 4. I might try Diablo Immortal just for the fun of it, just to see how ridiculously broken it is. I still need to get mobile working. I still have no clue how to properly get footage recorded. Like, I can easily record footage for mobile, but to do it live, I'm still trying to figure out how to do that properly without it being laggy. Like, I've been able to find some methods, but the problem is it drops too many frames. I've been trying to find ways to avoid that. And I still haven't found a proper adapter that works for the Chromecast. Though even that's not an ideal method. Blizzard's afraid of you letting another Dota get away. It's actually kind of funny. Barely anyone hosts Dota on it anymore. Probably because most of the people that would want to play Dota went onto Dota 2. Because Dota 1 is quite a bit clunkier after you've played Dota 2. It's fun for the nostalgia, but it's not something you would play a lot of. Just because you might as well just play Dota 2 at that point. But yeah, they lost like billions from losing Dota. Yet it was in their game engine. And now they don't want any other game to ever leave. There actually are a few good types of games still in there. Like battle tanks and battleships, particularly battle tanks, are one of my favorite games that was ever made on it. There's quite a few good tower defenses. There's a few good defense games as well, like elves versus trolls and what's it called? Island defense. Island defense probably be my favorite one as well. What other good games were on it? There's I'm trying to think of the few of the others. Brain's just not thinking of any at the moment. No, there's still like several other ones that were extremely noteworthy. Like they weren't Dota huge, but they were still pretty big. Sure, trying to think. What other genre was pretty good? Someone ended up making Darkest Dungeon in it. I haven't actually played it, but I did see that someone actually made Darkest Dungeon in Warcraft 3. Not sure how exactly it plays, but it's basically a roguelike themed around Darkest Dungeon, which is pretty cool. I need to play it sometime. Other than that, another roguelike that was pretty good is Troll Tribes, where basically it's like a roguelike survival game. It's almost like a combination of Don't Starve combined with PvP, kind of. I never actually played Don't Starve, but it's like the closest resemblance I can think of. And it was made way before Don't Starve was ever a thing. I think it was made as early as like 2005. And it's still updated to this day. Quite a few maps for it is actually still updated. Oh yeah, that's another one that was pretty popular. Castle Defense. The closest game that I can think of that's similar to that, which I actually currently play right now, is Clash Royale. If you've ever played Clash Royale, it's basically the same premise, except you only have spawning buildings. You don't have anything else but spawning buildings. But it's the same general premise of Clash Royale, just in a long form. A game of Castle Defense takes like 30 minutes or so on average, whereas Clash Royale on average takes like 3 minutes per battle. Let's see, we'll take that for now. I'll grab a thing right over there. Get a Rowan going. Oh, get our explosions everywhere. And it's dead. Yeah, I feel like a lot of games got influence from Warcraft 3 maps. Just because of the wide range that it was and how popular some of them became. Not Dota big, but some of them were still big in their time. Yeah, we'll go for that for now. Hello, Daniel. Welcome. So what level are we at? I feel like it's 23 or 24. Trying to get to 30. Oh, it's still 22. Come on now. Make progress. Should be right on top of that 23. Getting close. Have roguelikes drive you crazy? You can only play them for an hour. Oh no, I don't mind them as much. I've been meaning to play the genre a bit more. I think Slay the Spire is the next roguelike I'm going to get into a little bit. At least to its completion. To some capacity. There's a game that came out about a year ago that I never bothered playing yet. Still haven't bothered playing it yet. Because I believe all last year, the only new roguelike I bothered playing was Cadence of Hyrule, which actually got a patch that I didn't really play much. That came out about a month or two ago. Played a little bit while I was in Chicago at my friend's place, but I didn't really play it on my own. And I believe they added more solo campaign. They also added more dual stuff that you can do too, like in groups. But they added a decent amount of content to it. That's like the only roguelike I've played in the last year. And I was hoping Darkest Dungeon 2 would have been this year, but I'm not even sure what's up with it at this point. Because that's the one I'm probably the most hyped for. Super Meat Boy. I actually never got into Super Meat Boy. I'm not as big a fan on platformers, personally. I generally like games that have a lot of replay value. And generally speaking, platformers don't. Mario Maker and Mario Maker 2 does. But they're like a very, very rare exception. Most platforming games do not have replay value. Unless you're like speedrunning it. Level 23, there's our level there. Still got 7 to go until we get that other tribute reward thing. It's not going to make that huge a difference, but with much of the percent change that it will make it, we'll basically get an extra tribute every 2 days or so. Which doesn't sound like much, but hey, it adds up. And that extra tribute counts as an extra gem, an extra 2 gold key, and a little bit of other resources. And over time, that definitely adds up. Because it happens every 2 days forever. Because that's about how much of a difference a 0.25% tribute chance would make. What level am I farming? Explore 3. If you can't one-shot Explore 3, do Explore 2 or 1. We're currently farming Explore 3 until we reach level 30 on Barbarian hero class. We'll also have the weapon pretty soon. I believe we're almost at 250 wins. We don't really need the weapon though. It's just a weaker version of Tanya. You finished 100 levels in Titan and Thief. Congrats, nice. Can't decide whether to do Orb Weaver, Archer, or Warden next. They are all level 30. Probably Warden, because Orb Weaver is really only useful for Guild War defend. And Guild Wars is coming so soon that you probably won't be able to get 70 before next week. So I'd probably say do Warden to 70 next, then do Orb Weaver. I'd probably skip out on Archer. You really don't need multiple ones that have instant kill. And I'd personally say Assassin's probably the better way to go. Because Assassin has 2 instant kills. It has 10% per skull, and has 7% instant kill to get a kill. I mean, every single kill, you have a chance of getting a kill, I mean, with it. But yeah. I wouldn't really advise with Archer much. Prior to, it's kind of funny, because prior to trees ever coming out about a year and a half ago, when we got all 7 of those new extra perks from level 1 to 100, prior to that format being in the game, Archer was actually the best hero class in the game. Like, it was the Titan prior to that point. But then when they ended up adding all those perks to the game, Titan ended up becoming the new Archer, essentially. But prior to those perks about a year and a half ago, Archer was the hero class that was well-rounded for everything. That's not the case anymore. The main issue for that is its level up perks aren't the greatest compared to other hero classes. Its traits are still just as good, but a lot of other hero classes basically got the capability to reach those traits. Not the instant kill necessarily, but definitely the half mana start was the biggest noteworthy thing on it. Do I already have a video up on Barbarian? No, because there's currently a glitch going on with it. And we're not sure if it's going to stay that way or what they're doing with it. I might still cover it if the glitch is going on by tomorrow at some point. But there's currently a glitch where if you're using a red weapon, it gains 3 attack to every single time you take any gem on the board. You need a recommendation for a class event team? Dawnbringer with triple Garnock, or Mang with double Fist of Zorn into Garnock. Either or will work. Depends what you want to run, or if you even own Dawnbringer. Also, Dawnbringer 1 only works up until about the 4th set. Everything beyond then, you'd probably just want to switch to Mang regardless. I mentioned a team on Monday as well, in earlier to stream. But yeah, there isn't much to choose from, so you don't really have much of an option. As far as selection, that's for sure. But yeah, Mang, double Fist of Zorn, Groshnock, or Dawnbringer to triple Garnock. And I meant Garnock with the other one too. Whatever the legend's called. Gotta get 50% mana start. It is a fun bug, and I hope they don't change it. Because the hero class is actually viable with that bug. However, it's useless without it. It would also be the first instance in the game where using a specific hero weapon actually triggers their trait. Because right now, no trait triggers based on you using a specific color weapon. Yeah, Garnock's his name. I always keep forgetting his name with the name of the kingdom. The kingdom is Groshnock. The troop is Garnock. They sometimes interchange them because they're both pretty similar, obviously. Also, at this point, I think the game plan might be to get this to about 27 or so, and then finish the rest tonight. And just split it and then get our 70 later. Oh, we got the class weapon already as well. We don't really need it for anything, but let's go upgrade it. Let's see. Let's go get it upgradable. What do we have? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where did it go? Oh, there it is. So let's go max this thing. Doesn't get anything good. It gains bleed first enemy, useless, and rage self. That's good. Deal 3 splash damage to a random enemy. That's bad. Gain 2 attack, bad. Gain 4 life, bad. So the only good effect it has is in rage self. Well, we'll go get it maxed. And there we go. Okay, so that's that. Well, the weapons should we go upgrade right now? Gosh, we're getting so close to getting every epic maxed. So close yet so far. Look at that, we're getting to a screen where they're almost all done already. Let's get some of these useless ones upgraded. We're so close. I don't want to actually upgrade Eternal Flame. It actually becomes weaker if I do. However, I'm pretty sure we're never really going to use it, so maybe I'll upgrade it. Similar to how I should probably go upgrade Imperial Jewel. I don't feel like we're really going to be using it much ever again. So for that reason, I am actually going to max this out, I think. Sorry, Imperial Jewel, we just made you weaker. I don't think I'm going to be using you ever. So we'll upgrade it. Let's see, what else should we go grab? Mang, we will never upgrade ever unless they change something about it. And then we're almost there. Oh no, do we finally bite the bullet on Eternal Flame? I guess we do. Sorry, Eternal Flame, we just made you weaker. Sorry, Flame. Okay, yeah, we're almost there. We're down to almost a whole page of epics. We got, let's see, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and we could take away 4 more. So we have 20 more to go upgrade. We are so close. Alright, I'll do one more. I want to keep someone reserve in case we ever get an epic weapon. I just need to go upgrade immediately. But, yeah, we're almost there. So what's the count again? So we can upgrade 3 more right now. 1, 2, let's see, 6, 9, 13, 14. And we can upgrade 3 more. So we have 11 more epic weapons to go. And 11 more epic weapons, we will have everything maxed in the game except for Mang. And except for some of the useless Doom weapons. So we are getting very, very close to that. We're pretty much already there. Because what is 11? 11 is 196, right? Lead us 196. So we basically need 400 more, essentially. Around that many. But in about 400 more epic ingots, we have every single epic weapon in the entire game maxed. We don't really get many more new epic weapons into the game. They're mostly all legendary weapons. And mythic weapons and doom weapons. We don't really get epics out often. We used to a lot in the past, but not really anymore. As I say that, wasn't Scythian McScypheface an epic weapon though? How'd you forget? Let's see. Yes, it is. I say that as that's an epic weapon that we literally just got on Wednesday. A few days ago. Or was it Tuesday? I can't remember. A few days ago. Actually, I think it was Tuesday. Because the pet was Wednesday. Sunspear 70. Sunspear 70 is nice to have. That is one of the hero class that is worth getting to 100 due to triple damage on burning. Due to Red Storm, it does tend to have options that can burn on its team in many of the compositions that you can use it for. However, you don't always necessarily use it in first slot. Because it does have a nice Entangle freeze at start of battle. Which you get pretty early on, too. I think you have it by level 10 or 20 on the hero class. You have both the Entangle freeze at start of battle. If anyone else has any other questions, do let me know. How hard is it to get to order a chaos weapon? It's a $5 only weapon. That's the only weapon you don't have. But it will appear in, yeah, it's money only. In the current state of the game, there is no way to get it other than money. But it's a $5 weapon that will appear during I believe it's not Darkstone. I believe it's a Dragon's Claw weapon. Let's see, Order in Chaos. No, it's Sword's Edge. So the next Sword's Edge event we have, all during the week, if you go to the shop, you'll be able to buy it for $5. And that is the only way to currently get it. I believe you can also see a flash offer at any point, which will occasionally have it for $5 as well. But the main way it'll guarantee be obtainable is next time we have a Sword's Edge. Next event for that, it's underneath shop, underneath specials. Or sorry, not underneath specials, it's underneath weekly event. And all the way over to the right will be a $5 weapon. And there will be, during a Sword's Edge event, the Order in Chaos. It is not obtainable currently by any other means other than $5. I ended up getting it while it was still free. Every single weapon at some point was available for free for in-game currencies. But there are about 34 weapons, one per kingdom, that are only ever obtainable through $5, and that is one of those. Which is pretty pricey. That means, theoretically, if you want every weapon in the game, due to the ones that don't exist in Soulforge, you would have to spend 170? Yeah, $170 to get every weapon in the game. If you wanted to do 100% completion in the current state of the game, if you didn't get all the old, very, very old event weapons. You don't really need to do this, though, because most of the old event weapons are useless. Like, every single one of them isn't really good at all. They're extremely dated weapons that are never used. But some people still like it for completionist's sake. Yeah, I never actually put it that way, but yeah, that is pretty pricey. 170? That is pretty high. But most of those weapons are like 3 years, 4 years, even 5 years old. Actually, quite a few of them are 5 years old. Like 5 to 4.5 years old. The main reason they have it for money is mainly because when those weapons were first introduced to the game, or at least their reasoning behind why they have it like that, is when those weapons were first came into the game, it did say that they would only ever be available for that event. And obviously everyone who's completionist for the game wanted those to come back. So instead of just making them easily available, they just made it for $5 instead. Since they theoretically said in the past that they would never add them back to the game. But they did it for money. I still wish they would have been in Soulforge, though. If nothing else, is for more expensive. You have not received a flash offer in the last 2 months? Really? Your flash offer thing might be broken then. Unless you're referring to a weapon flash offer. In which case, maybe you need to have a certain amount of weapons missing in order for it to give you one. I've never seen the weapon flash offer on this account just because I've owned every single weapon since it's been a thing. But yeah, maybe you need to have a certain amount of them not obtained for it to occur. I'm not sure. I know in Clash Royale, they end up having it so you have to be missing at least 3 emoticons in order to actually see emoticons. Also, they kind of sell emoticons the same way that Gems of War sells with those old event weapons. There's like 100 old emoticons, and they cost like $2.50 each. Which adds up to be a lot of money. I don't bother with any of them. Actually, I've been doing pretty good about not spending money on it. Because that's the thing I try to avoid with most mobile games. Because they do tend to want to milk you for every single cent. I've only been putting $5 a month into that one. Just because they have a monthly pass thing, which is pretty good value. Let's see. I'm kind of surprised Gems of War doesn't have something like that. Something you can buy for $5 that lasts you for the entire month. They do kind of have offers for that, but the Ring of Wonder is 20 bucks, which is pretty pricey. and some of the offers that they have last for half a month and it's $5. It doesn't really give you too much. Feels like a lot of mobile games are going down that route, and honestly, I don't mind it too much because it's kind of just like has a subscription service. I just feel like you shouldn't ever charge more than $5 for it, because there's some that have like a $5 one, some that have like a 5 and 10. Anything beyond like 5 for a mobile game is definitely pushing it. And dead. Wait, is Sword's Edge already on Monday? Oh wow, that's right around the corner. But yeah, we'll be able to get that weapon soon then. Yeah, I didn't even double check to see what next week's event is. I was gonna say, we haven't had a Sword's Edge for a while. But is that actually Monday? It might be. It sounds like it could. Because it has been a while since we had a Sword's Edge. Let me see. Where's all the troops? Yeah, Monday is Sword's Edge. You can get Order and Chaos on Monday. And all throughout the week. For $5, if that's the only weapon you're missing. But yeah, that's right around the corner. February 10th, Monday. Yep, 3 days from now. That is very soon, TM. So what level are you right now? 24. But I think we'll go to 27 right now and then do 30 tonight. That seems like a game plan. And just spread it out that way. And then we'll have the final upgrade for the kingdom, or at least the final one that can be due right now, which is 14 for the kingdom. Cannot go higher because it doesn't have enough troops. And right now the only thing holding us back is the fact we don't have this leveled yet, the hero class. Is Infernus a good troop? Yes. He's really good. I sometimes even suggest him as one of the first few crafts that you do. Main reason being is 4 times burn is extremely powerful in early game because it's basically 12 free damage per turn, 3 to all enemies. So that can stack up to be quite a bit of damage when enemies have lower stats. Not just that, but burn has a lot of synergies as far as hero classes that do triple damage, as well as a few other synergies here and there. And other than that, Infernus just overall has pretty good traits and abilities, with having a board clear, a distributed damage that doesn't get hard countered by Submerge, and a Red Storm into his own color. He has a lot of things going for him. He covers a lot of ground. He's particularly good in PvP and Guild Wars. However, he does not upscale for things like factions. So if you wanted to run him in factions or Tower of Doom, he doesn't work well in those locations. But he works really well in PvP and Guild Wars. Though those two areas are becoming less and less relevant as time goes on in the current state of the game. Right now, I would probably say the most important ones are factions and what was the other one? And Explore are probably the 2 most important locations. And any troops that can help you in those locations tend to be the absolute best, I would say, in the current state of the game. That's because a lot of other areas can be done with lower rarity stuff. Theoretically, Guild Wars 2. However, winning Guild Wars isn't too important in the current state of the game. Like, it's helpful, but not as important as it used to be in the past. One thing that made it really important in the past is you used to be able to gain a 100% EXP bonus for an entire month. But now it only lasts for a single day. There is a glitch where if you won on the last day of Guild Wars, it would last until the next Guild Wars. The 100% EXP bonus. That's no longer a thing. But it made winning the last day of Guild Wars excessively important. So close yet so far. Just need those last 2 levels. Don't finish the rest tonight. Also, we will be streaming at 7 tonight, which is actually pretty soon at this point. By the time we end our stream, it's going to be in like 4 hours. Reason for doing an hour earlier is I just wanted to catch the debates tonight. Of course, everything keeps happening to happen at the exact time we stream. Let's see. We'll go for that for now. Grab our pokety poke. Oh yeah, this thing's a little bit annoying here. You can actually loop a little bit and get a silence. Very rare that it gets all the mana it needs, but when it does, it is actually a bit annoying. Very, very rarely happens though. Probably the only annoying thing in this kingdom. Then the fact that it creates Greenstorm. And while that's beneficial for the team we're using right now, it is not beneficial in when we're using, if we're dependent on a different storm. Like, for example, we can't use a Phoenicia team here because of him. Because the green storm will override our red storm. The way that traits always work is it goes from top left to bottom right as far as the priority order. And because, for that reason, if the enemy has any storm, it will overwrite your storm. So if you have a storm at start of battle, and the enemy has a storm at start of battle, their storm will take precedent because it goes from top left to bottom right. You can kind of see that at the beginning of every single battle too, that functionality working. But that applies to every trait, even active traits. The order in top left to top right. It also means if you want to go and have 2 storms on your team, whichever one you have lowest on your team will be the one that triggers. So if we had something that triggered a green storm when we kill an enemy and a brown storm when we kill the enemy, but the brown storm one is lower down in our team, the brown storm one will trigger whenever we actually get the kill, and the other one will do nothing. Unless that other troop was to die. Or to switch positions with it. What's the best Explore team? What we're using right now. I am not aware of anything stronger or quicker. If you're just looking for quick kills. It is any yellow weapon in the entire game. Followed by, or really anything that doesn't block Rowan. Followed by Rowan, Leprechaun, and Mirage Queen. Ran with 24 armor. And you just run this at the lowest level, or the highest level Explore that you can easily one-shot. Which is either Explore 2 or Explore 3 most likely. No one has enough stats to one-shot Explore 4. And you should generally have enough that you could probably do Explore 2. Because Explore 1 has very, very low stats. I think just obtaining Rowan has enough damage to do Explore 1. Even if you had no stats on it whatsoever. Just having all the kingdoms to the level 10. Or having the plus 25 armor I believe is already enough to do Explore 2 damage-wise. Explore 3 you don't get till later on, but it's not really that big of a difference in loot. That definitely adds up. Oh, you used 100 gems keys this morning and pulled 3 of the new Mythic at once. Wow. That is insanely good. That is very, very lucky. I don't think I've ever actually obtained 2 Mythics at the same time. I guess I have, but it was 2 different Mythics. I don't think I've ever obtained 2 of the same Mythic within the same pool of troops. Oh, wait, have I? Actually, I might have once or twice. I think I did on Plague. Never mind. I might have. I definitely never pulled a triple, though. That I know 100% for sure I've never done. Never pulled a triple Mythic out of any amount of key opening. Hey, another Arcane. Anything good in chess? Nope. Oh, the Arcane was guaranteed. I'm like saying it as if we get it out of luck, but never mind. We did the Mythic Battle. And the Mythic Battle has a 100% chance to give us a trait stone. An Arcane trait stone. Of the Kingdom's color. Get our Rowan down. Dead. . We should be getting close to that 28. Or not 28, the 26, I mean. Don't even know my numbers. Oh, almost there. Yeah, this game does have a lot of quick math, which I like. Though they took out a lot of math when they ended up adding automatic boost ratios to the game, which is not something that always existed. I believe they added about 1.5 years to 2 years ago or so. But that's only a somewhat recently occurring thing. Also, the fact that the magic-related thing that ends up boost ratioing an ability being highlighted in purple, I believe that happened around the same time. And both of those were just done to make for better clarity as far as what troops do for their ability. It was actually a pretty nice thing. It came out of nowhere. It was probably the best thing that came in the patch when it came in. Because I believe it came in a mini patch. Or it might have even been a bigger patch. And ironically, it was still the better thing in the bigger patch, even though it was just a small thing. Or it's supposed to be small. One of the more helpful things that they've added in recent years. From a quality of life perspective. Up there's our level. But I'll probably just go for one more for now then. And just finish the rest out tonight. Just to give us a main objective to go for tonight. Because otherwise, we don't really have any other really big objectives to do sidewise other than leveling hero classes. Because we just finished Hall of Guardians last night for any of you that didn't catch it. Spoilers. But highly advise checking it out. It was quite an intense battle, that's for sure. But we finally got it done. After many attempts, we finally gotten it done. And then we got a major blue orb off the pet as well. Got a lot of luck back to back. And we even got this Mythic pretty lucky. Like 250 is way above average to get it in. The average for drop rate's 1,000 gem keys. Let's see, we'll take that down. So if anyone still has any other questions, do let me know. Make sure to go over them all. If any of you still had anything to mention. But yeah, as far as this hero class is concerned, we really have to see what they do with the final trait. If they leave it as is, it's going to be good. If they don't, it's going to be useless. It really just comes down completely to what on earth they do with it. Every kingdom in Explorer, you need to start from level 1 until 12? No. You actually only have to do it once. Once you've gotten to difficulty 12, once, on any kingdom, you can permanently go to any kingdom on difficulty 12. You do not need to do it individually per kingdom. They luckily did it that way for our sanity, so we wouldn't have to go through every single kingdom 12 times just to reach 12 if we wanted to run it. Instead, what they did is you just do it once, and then you forever can go to any kingdom at 12. So yeah, the first time you get it done is the only time you ever need to get it done. Challenges do keep progressing per kingdom, but Explorer does not. Once you do it once, you have it unlocked for all of them. What's the last troop in the slot 4? And what class and weapon am I using? The class and weapon do not matter at all. You use whatever class you want to level. And the weapon, you can use anything as long as it doesn't block Rowan. So as long as you don't use a green or blue in any way. As far as last troop is Mirage Queen, this is actually pretty useful. It gives half mana start to all elementals. And this helps give our Rowan half mana start because it's an elemental. So that's what that's being used for, just to make sure that she gets mana a bit quicker so we can just go right into the instant kill. However, if you do not have Mirage Queen, you can use whatever the Glory Troop is, or whatever the new Glory Troop is for the week. For example, the Glory Troop right now, that is out this week, the Arbiter of Greed, or whatever it's called, the Ambassador of Greed, the Bard of Greed, I forget what it's called, the whatever of Greed that ends up coming in this week. If you use that, you get 400 additional gold per Explore battle. So you can use that instead of Mirage Queen in the last slot. It's slightly slower, but you get 400 extra gold per battle. And on other weeks, there's other benefits. So if you don't have Mirage Queen, you can end up getting it that way. Rowan you get for free off of Fars of Thorns Kingdom. Leprechaun's random drop off of Glory and Gem Keys. And the Mirage Queen you get from throwing Chaos Shards at the Sunken Fleet's portal. And they cost 20 each, and you'd probably get a legend within a few hundred or so, unless you got unlucky. It's probably harder to trade it than to even get a copy of it. Oh, actually, I guess getting a copy of it's slightly harder. But not much harder. But it does have to be fully traded, because the whole premise of using Mirage Queen is to half mana start your Rowan. Does the Explorer level affect the rarity drop of the tokens? Yes. It does not affect Trait Stone drop, but it does affect token drop. And the further you go, the better tokens you get. Also, 10, 11, and 12 are the only ones that drop Nishas. With 12 obviously being the best option. There are really only 4 Explore battles that matter. 2, 3, 5, and 12. Basically, every other Explore number does not matter. The reason for 2 is it's basically the lowest you should ever do, because more often than not, you should be able to easily one-shot Explore 1. And you should probably be able to one-shot Explore 2. If you can't somehow one-shot Explore 2, then you would do Explore 1. But I feel like most options would one-shot Explore 1. Explore 2. So, they're basically the same category in that they're just the lowest Explorer that you would ever do. Explore 3 is relevant as it's the lowest that the best quick Explore team can ever do, which is this. It is currently not impossible to do Explore 4. And probably never will be due to how much stats it has relative to Explore 3. Unless we could just get a lot more stats somehow added to the game. Explore 5 is relevant as it is the lowest one that gives 2 trophies. And there are some teams like a really high-leveled Phoenicia that can one-shot it, which gives the highest trophy rate in the entire game. And Explore 12 is relevant because it gives the best overall medals. If you're looking to farm medals, you should be doing Explore 12. Explore 3 or 2, like we're doing right now, is mostly meant for class XP and hero XP. It is not actually meant for tokens. You are getting tokens along the way. However, this is not a natural token grinding method while you're obtaining them. But you have a 0% chance while doing Explore 2 or 3 or any of these lower ones of getting a Nisha, and a 0% chance of getting a Anu. So the 2 highest rarities that we'd want to be getting the most of, we're currently getting 0 of by spamming the Explore here. However, we're winning at a much quicker rate that gives us a lot of EXP, which is why we're able to level it so quickly. And that's why we're almost at level 27 right now. Without spending a single cent towards the event thing. Oh, how do you get Mirage Queen? You get Mirage Queen from Sunken Fleet. You throw Chaos Shards there. It's this one right over here. It's go into Underworld. Go over to... Where's Sunken Fleet? Actually, I completely forget where it is. I think it's down here. Yeah, it is. I was going the right direction. I just didn't go far enough. But it's these portals right here. So any one of these can drop a Mirage Queen, as you can see. Percent chance is... Actually, what is percent chance on that? I'm not even sure. Percent chance is 2.97 per thing. It's almost a 3% chance per attempt that you do. So that's pretty good. So that means if you do that, what? About 33 times? 34 times? If you do it 34 times, you should be on average to get a legend, which is 640 Chaos Shards. So in about 640 Chaos Shards, 1,000 probably at max or so, you would end up getting a Mirage Queen from opening portals here. And you can get all those Chaos Shards within a single Tuesday event if you don't already have them. You can also get it from daily factions within a few days as well. So by Tuesday, you should have enough shards to go get a Mirage Queen if you don't already have one. What's the best level for Arcanes? Technically 12. And the reason for this is you get a guarantee Arcane every single time you complete out the Mythic battle. And you get more mythic battles, obviously, if you do 12, because you're getting more chaos shards. Or not chaos shards, you're getting more of the shards that are used for those portal things. Or not the portal. I'm combining words now. For the 100 that you need in order to go do the mythic battles for Explore. Those you get more of by doing Explore 12. Because those don't take away from your drop rate. While the trait stone rate is the same for all of them, you do get a guaranteed arcane every single time you do a mythic battle. Yeah, myth stones is the one I was looking for. That's the term for them. That's their proper term. Yeah, Explore 12, because you get a drop, not only a guarantee arcane every single time you do the Explore battle, but you also still get the normal roll every single battle you do, including the one on the guarantee arcane. So whenever you do a mythic battle, not only do you get the guarantee arcane, but you get the still get the chance to roll another arcane on top of that. So you can end up getting a lot of arcanes. I believe Explore 12, if you can win in about 30 seconds to a minute per battle, you can farm somewhere around 20 arcanes per battle. Speaking of arcanes, we just got an arcane there. But yeah, you can get a pretty hefty amount. Even just off of guarantee arcanes, I believe you can reach about 12 guarantee arcanes per hour by spamming level 12 Explorer if you can win quick enough. Like 10 to 12 or so. And that's if assuming you get 0 arcanes off a random drop, just guaranteed is 10 to 12. Which is pretty much what the RNG rate used to be. And now you can get a guarantee, which is pretty cool. And that's on top of whatever else you might be getting on top. So you can easily reach like 15, 20, even a little bit higher than 20 per hour for arcanes on Explore 12. As long as you can win in under a minute per battle. But anyways, guys, we've got our level 27. I think we'll do 28, 29, and 30 tonight. Just to give us a clear objective to actually aim for. And then we'll probably hand out code at 29 tonight and go from there. But anyways, guys, stream will be a little bit earlier. We'll be back in 4 hours from now, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which, as I mentioned, is in 4 hours. An hour earlier than we normally do. And we'll go finish out our grind, get our 30, go get our star on Groshnok, and go do any of the dailies we need to go mess around with. I don't think we really got anything good today, but still want to do. If nothing else, it's good free class XP. Just doing the dailies alone will pretty much give us a level. So that'll be a pretty quick level for our 28th level there. Anyways, guys, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Best of luck if you're going to be trying for the new Mythic off of Glory Gem Guild or VIP chest. It's not really that good of a Mythic, but if you're going for it, you could use it to upgrade Darkstone if nothing else. Counts as a Mythic for if you want a 10 start, so that's a factor. Yep, definitely feel free to leave a like on the stream, as Barbara mentioned. Definitely helps out a lot for YouTube algorithm purposes. And yeah, I guess I'll catch all of you guys later. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Also, just a reminder, we will not be streaming Saturday morning. Our next stream after the one we do tonight will be Saturday night. So do be wary of that. We'll probably do a little bit longer Saturday night for that reason. But our next stream after the one in 4 hours from now won't be until Saturday night. So do be wary of that. Anyways, guys, catch you guys later. Thank you so much for stopping by, and best of luck with the new Mythic and Hero class. Goodbye, everyone!